to investigate a horribly haunted windmill. I mean, sawmill. Some kind of mill. I don't know. They're all the same thing, right? Like when you break it down. Hello, Permeus. Hello, Hazardous. Hello, Corrales. I already went in there. I feel like this happened to me last time, too. Oh, there it is.
Human bones. Guess they're all that's left of the lumberjacks.
Hey, it's a Leshen, and he's just standing there. I love that. Freaking Leshens. Tip number 1. Keep writing. Don't stop writing. Don't stop. No. No tips. I'm a terrible writer. Good morning, loner. Upon a time, Macromano. Hentai too. I was watching you, Permeus. Waiting. So I was looking it up. It looks like there's actually not that many side quests in both expansions, which is fine. But if anybody wants to help direct me towards them, you are free to do so. Alright, so where are we? We're here. Good morning, Blackfile. Crows. I hate crows. There's that, so I guess we could do that. And there's the other one just northeast of that. Today is National Video Game Day, huh? Wow. Who knew? I've never heard of that.
Are you the silent druid? Oh yeah. Dumb question. They ever try to cure you some other way? Give you potions or herbs? Not just mute. Seems he's deaf, too.
I mean, as I say, there's a way to communicate without your voice. No, I have not tied to. I haven't even touched it. I think I own it. I should actually double check that. Do I own Thronebreaker? I do. Okay, I do own Thronebreaker. We're good, we're good.
When do you lose your voice? Can you show me? Hold up some fingers? Charming man. Doesn't look like we'll figure much out talking. So long. Talking won't get me anywhere.
It's time to kill him. That's pretty limp-wristed, but I suppose I shouldn't expect much from the British. No, I'm kidding. So... surely this will startle him, right? No? No. That apparently didn't work. So he flips me off, like you do. That's what I was hitting. What else around here do we have? Let's get him attacked by bees. What else? Let's see. Let's get him attacked by Huthor. That should do it.
Maybe he'll say something if I put out his fire.
Put out his fire? Okay.
Piss off already, you... Oh, nay. My vow of silence. Oh, for no. 3 years. 3 years. Not a word, not a peep. Until today, you made me break my vow. Happy?
I meant well, really.
Well, it certainly didn't turn out well. Out of my sight, swine!
I mean, I gotta be honest, I don't actually feel all that bad. And you know why? Because he can understand us quite well. So he could have very clearly been like, look, go away. He could go away. He could just scrawled it in the dirt. Or he could have tried to communicate in any manner other than flipping us off. So this is kind of on him. So, you know, screw him, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, come here, Witcher. Gil's got something to say.
Aye, that you're a true
Glory you attain, Shaun.
Ha! Heard him screaming, clear over here. Grand work, Witcher. Your reward, as promised.
Yeah, flipping me off isn't really communication. Let's just be blunt about that.
Don't like being played for a fool. Remember that. Or next time, you'll be the one left speechless.
I had no one to talk to. Am I to go with Grimmist each time I wish to chat?
Yeah, he could have literally just made a sign. I am under a vow of silence. Do not attempt to speak to me, for I shall not return. You know. Whatever. Screw him. I really don't feel bad. I'm sorry. Is that it? Yeah, I guess that's actually it. So, let's do this. Afternoon, the Ritu. Yeah, that's what I thought. We also don't know why he was doing a vow of silence, which might have actually helped.
Can hear you two clear on the other side of the island.
Good! May all Skellige know, Yennefer of Vengerberg is a common thief!
Control yourself, druid. I haven't stolen anything. I've merely borrowed something and fully intend to return it.
Ha! The generosity. Just one small problem. Once used, the mask is rendered completely worthless. Not to mention the risk you'll bury us alive, and all the Isles with us.
Barry, what are you talking about?
She's not told you? Might have expected as much. The myth is that Ouroboros created the mask when the envious seas swallowed his beloved. Unable to bear the prospect that he would never again see his betrothed, Ouroboros made the mask, which would allow him to peer into the past. He knew, however, that he could only use it once. So he waited. Waited until his longing grew so strong that it became unbearable. When the sea learnt of the mask, it was quick to respond. It made known its threat that whosoever used the mask would bring the sea's wrath down on them. For in vengeance, the sea would rise and flood all the lands and drown the living.
So, no one's ever used the mask?
No, but
So you don't actually know if it works, how it works?
of course I do. The myths tell me.
You believe the myths?
Only ignorant fools belittle their significance. Besides, it's not the myths that are on trial here. It's the thief.
On the one hand, a theft. On the other, Ciri's life.
I also care deeply for the girl. I proposed a series of other methods. Yennefer refused to listen. She claimed they would take too long, whereas she needs immediate results. She has always been hot-headed.
True. At least this time she's got a valid reason for it.
Never mind that she might bring... What? What was that? No. Yennefer's used the mask. Follow me. We must
Okay, I'm coming. Ah! Ermien's fast for his age, my goodness. Oh no, it's random enemies. Oh, wrong button. Oh no, enemies everywhere! Enemies everywhere! Run! Oh god, more enemies everywhere! Why are there enemies everywhere?
Great. Come on! What was that?
Unicorns.
Damn it, Yen. I saw the foglets. I meant how'd they get here.
The power of the mask summoned them.
Ermien says the mask might cause a natural disaster.
Fortunate he's here then. He can jump right in, try to tame it.
Realize he won't let this pass.
Oh, I'll survive, somehow.
What now?
The mask reveals the past, but only in certain places. Places where past events left a strong magical imprint. Take it.
Want me to wear it?
Yes. I'll cast a spell that will let me see through your eyes.
Gonna read my mind again?
You object?
You do it whenever you want anyway.
No harm in it then, is there? Let's go. Already found the first spot.
I do have to admit, this is probably the first time Yennefer actually started to piss me off a little bit. I mean, don't mistake me, I understand the mama bear mentality quite well, but... Yikes.
Spot. Put on the mask.
Any instructions?
Keep it on until we've seen everything. And don't stray far. Telepathy is limited in range.
Oh no, I actually start liking her after this. Like, there's several things she does that has her start to grow on me. Is that it? Oh. Huh. Well, apparently I already have it equipped. God dang it. Didn't even see.
What's that? A portal?
2 people emerged from it.
The woman was Ciri.
How can you know?
The way she moved. Like a witcher. Seems they went that way.
Come, let's find the next spot. Well, ready? Use the mask. Watch out!
What was that?
A magic explosion of some sort. So powerful that even the echo was dangerous. I wager it destroyed the forest.
But Ciri and her companion weren't harmed. I saw them escape.
Let's see where to.
Place is creepy. I don't like it.
Nor do I.
Anyone here when this happened had a slim chance of surviving.
I know what you're thinking, but don't worry. Ciri can take care of herself. Don the mask.
Someone chased Ciri. See that? Might have wounded her.
She escaped through another portal.
Know where it led?
Magic residue trail leads to Velen.
Any chance you can figure out where Ciri's companion fled to? His portal's gotta be nearby.
I'll try to find it. Come.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure this is when she met the crones.
Use the mask.
Nice fight.
One repelled the other with powerful magic, then fled through a portal.
A mage?
Most likely. It's Ciri's companion and the one who wounded her.
How do you know?
I don't. Making an educated guess. They both appeared in the previous visions.
Ciri's got a powerful ally. The mage who was with Ciri fled too. Know where?
His trace path leads to Velen as well. But the target coordinates of his portal differ from those of Ciri's. The explosion must have disrupted his teleportation.
Ran into Kira Metz in Velen. Coincidence maybe, but she claimed a mage came to her looking for Ciri. Be surprised if it wasn't the same one.
Whoever he is, he grows more interesting by the minute.
Maybe something left of the one who got hit by the spell.
It's clearing up,
Ermion must be getting a handle on the weather.
which means he'll be free to attack us again.
Are you pleased with yourselves? Look at what you've brought down on us! If someone's death were to help you find Ciri, would you start making human sacrifices as well?
Relax. Storm's died down. You've clearly got things under control.
For now. But who knows what will be a week or two on?
Stop panicking! Here's your mask.
It is worthless. It's an unwieldy ashtray at best. I hope you've learned something useful at least.
Very.
I'm talking to Geralt. You I'll deal with later. So?
We think a powerful curse was cast here.
Plausible. Considering what happened to the wood. Do you know upon whom?
Not yet, but we know Ciri was here. She stepped out of a portal. A mage was with her. Someone chased them. They fought. Ciri was wounded but managed to escape.
Where to?
Velen, probably. The mage opened a portal for her, then he fought her attacker.
Yes? Is that it?
Got a feeling we found something interesting. Just need to examine one more thing.
Vision he went flying in that direction.
I mean, you can kind of see the path his body took. Look at that.
Something's pinned under that tree. Can you...
I can.
Get out of the way.
Armor's clean. No blood, no sword nicks. Ciri's friend must have... What do you call it?
Vaporized him.
Exquisite. The armor. Though the workmanship's unfamiliar. Can't even tell where it's from.
Probably because it belonged to a rider of the Wild Hunt.
What? So it's true? The Wild Hunt? I feared as much. First here, then on Hindersfjall. What did they want?
They're looking for Ciri.
But why?
Elder blood flows in Ciri's veins.
Tis true, she can trace her lineage clear back to Lara, which is why the women in her family have always had extraordinary abilities. But could that truly be so important?
Ciri's exceptional. She travels between places here and other worlds. Space is no obstacle for her.
Huh?
Which is why the Wild Hunt wants to capture her.
This may sound strange, but when did we learn that? Like, I thought last we checked, we, that is to say Geralt, didn't actually know the specifics of the Wild Hunt's plan. Although maybe they still don't. Because I mean, do we know about the planetary invasion plan yet? I don't know, Sonic Doctor.
Speaking of the hunt, mentioned it appeared on Hindersfjall.
Well, it happened at least a fortnight after the cataclysm struck here on Ard Skellige. The raids raided Lofoten at dusk in a blizzard. Itself a strange occurrence for that time of year. The islanders sent the wraiths. They barged into their huts, killed anyone who resisted, then galloped inland, laughing fiendishly.
Anyone survive?
A dozen or so women and an old man.
Next stop, Hindersfjall.
I'll meet you on the beach near Lofoten.
Well, I've done all the side stuff. Actually, no. I'll see you there. Hang on.
See you there.
Good luck to you. Inform me once you've learned anything new.
I need to talk to Ermion. Ermion,
Can we talk?
let's play Gwent.
Wouldn't happen to play Gwent, would you?
Certainly. I got my first deck, years ago, back in Sintra. Proceeded to teach the game to half of Skellige. Why do you ask? Looking to play?
Damn right. Right here and now.
Yeah, glad to play around.
Lovely. My congratulations. You've a good deck, but it could use a bit of supplementation. Here, take this card.
Thanks.
You've a knack for it. So much so you ought to challenge Crack. I gave him his deck, introduced him to the game. But the pupil has surpassed his master. There's also Grimaced, a vile character, but undeniably talented.
Thanks. See if I can find these two people and take their Gwent. I mean, win their Gwent cards, if completely legitimately. Like, there's no foul play here. If I'm being honest, Loner, it's been a while since I've played Gwent legitimately, but I'm not too worried about picking up the rules. No, the problem will be making a deck.
Respect, Witcher.
Got me eye on
Dirty
you.
oaf.
I am not dirty. Oh, I'm doing an Elf Guardian deck. I've already decided that. It's part of why I need so many new cards. Hey, Croc.
Telling you, Geralt,
Crate.
since you and Hjalmar defeated the Ice Giant together, I see you as one of our own.
I got the look of a Skellige.
You've got the heart of an uncrate.
I'm also older than you, aren't I?
You ever play Gwent?
Ermion taught me the rules and gave me a deck. Wish to play?
Damn right.
Let's play a quick round.
He's playing the monster deck. Or a monster deck, I suppose I should say. You gotta recalibrate the arm by 5 degrees. Do the what? By the what now? If I'm... Kira's card. If I'm to die today, I wish to look smashing for the occasion. We're not going to talk about Deathmold. He's dead and he should stay dead. Nobody likes death mold. Nobody.
You're good. Know what, Wolf? I've this rare card here. Take it. It'll be of more use to you.
Thanks.
You might consider challenging a man in Caertrolda village. A worthy adversary, though a mere tailor. Just as his name.
What's Skellige's third turn advantage? Hey, it's Exodia. Sweet. So if I had Witcher genetics, would I change profession? Yes, I would change profession to Emperor of the World.
Then we will do so.
I'm kidding.
Eye on you.
Probably not, in all in total honesty.
Oh! Ah.
Is he down? Up? Looks like he is down. Whee!
Well, well, well.
Greetings.
Smooth seas this morn, as if the gods themselves were paying their respects to the great Conung Bran.
Yeah.
You a tailor?
I am. Only one in the Isles, most like.
Any chance you play Gwent?
Oh, aye. It's a great passion. Wanna play?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
Bravo! A grand win. Congratulations!
Okay, now let's go find this grimmest character. Steal his card. Hopefully by the end of this I'll have enough to actually make a Nilfgaardian deck. Last time I tried, which was admittedly quite a while ago, I literally didn't have enough cards.
Leave me be, will ye?
I'm no trout that must get to its spawning ground. I shall do what I please. Now leave me be.
Leave me be, will ye?
Damn it, I can't play him. Why can't I play him? It's a moderately good game. There's some decencies about it. Passably acceptable.
Yes? What do you seek?
Kind old geezer I just saw you talking to. Who was he?
One of our circle. Grimmest. An exceptional alchemist. But a stubborn mean ass.
Well, been around sorceresses my share. Long enough to know that with great enlightenment comes even greater arrogance.
But sorceresses welcome apprentices, am I right? Not grimmest. So many formulae in that head. So many methods of ingesting and absorbing lethal toxins. But he'd rather take them to the grave than share.
Why is he averse to having an apprentice?
How should I know? Perhaps because he's a stubborn mean ass.
Want to talk to you.
But I do not wish to speak. Leave. You distress me.
You seem a nice enough guy.
Well, I'm not. I plan never to be. I became a druid to avoid others. To not have to deal with them. Not to smile when I don't wish to. To feign compassion when someone's travails matter less to me than a pair of birch cones. So I shall be straight. Get out of my sight. Before something, I know not what, deprives you of yours.
I want you to share your knowledge. Teach me alchemy.
You? My apprentice? That's rich. While you're at it, why did you ask Uderic if he'll share Spickerog with you?
I'm serious.
That's so. Don't make me laugh. I've devoted my life to alchemy. Son, literally. Spent countless days and nights with nothing but alembics, choking on fumes, scorching my skin with acids. If you think I'll simply betray to you what I learned through years of sacrifice and toil, then you're mistaken. Deeply.
Can I convince you somehow?
Oh, gods. You're as bothersome as a gadfly before a storm. Though I am preparing to perform a rather tricky ritual. So I could use some help. Even yours. I require 3 favors. Do them for me, and I shall accept you as my apprentice.
Well, well, there's a way after all.
Get off your high horse and listen. First, you must bring me a Pimpernel from the Muskogan forest. Second, I need a bottle of spirit from the old distillery on Hale Hill. Finally, convince Fritjof to help me perform the rite. He's a druid like I am. You'll find him near Blandara. I believe he's there on a matter of some import. So, what will it be?
This Fritjof, who is he?
A Vedamaker, huh? You don't know the word, do you? And I pledge to make you my apprentice. A Vedamaker is a druid who can manipulate the weather. Stop a storm, cause hail, make lightning turn your enemy to ash. I advise to address him with the utmost respect, if you value your life.
Spirit. Why do you need that?
As you must know, potential apprentice, alcohol is the base for all potions. Superior alcohol means a higher quality potion. This spirit has no equal. Its strength, its flavor. Unfortunately, the distillery atop Hale Hill has fallen into disrepair. We've lacked a source ever since. But you'll manage somehow, won't you? You're so confident.
A Pimpernel. Far as I know, it's got no use in alchemy apart from...
Would you teach your grandmother to suck eggs? It's not any Pimpernel, but the one that grows in the Muskogan forest. And if the rumors are true, a creature jealously guards all the herbs growing there.
Forest creature jealously guarding some secrets? Sounds familiar. All right, I'll do it. But this ritual you want to perform, what's that about?
If you wish to be my apprentice, you must stop asking questions. I decide what to tell you and when to do it. Now go, chop chop, before I change my mind.
Well, that does sound pretty horrible. Let's see. After Geralt, I suppose my favorite Witcher would probably be Vesemir. I mean, that's kind of an easy choice. I assume we can't count Ciri since she doesn't really count. So yeah, I'll go with Vesemir.
Once I begin, you must all enter your homes, shut the windows, lock the doors.
Nothing. I don't like this. Shouldn't be risking your life for us.
Worms.
What?
Worms?
Do as you say.
Worms on your brain. Them's the only worms here. Don't let me make go.
You Fritjof?
That's right. And what do they call you, Witcher?
Me? Drifter, stranger, mutant. Sometimes even by my name. Geralt of Rivia.
Ha! A man with a sense of humor. I like that. Well, what can I do for you, Geralt of Rivia?
By the way, that's 2 more of the butlers. The previous druid, not the guy we just talked to, but the guy before him and this guy both have the same face.
Grandmist wanted me to summon you. Need you to help him perform a ritual.
A ritual? Will this one stop him from being a mean old goat? I would go see him for old time's sake, but I've more important matters on my mind. Look about you. The ground. See how dry it is. It's not rained for weeks. The grass in pastures has withered. Sheep are starving. I must bring rain, but fear that... Wait just a moment. Perhaps you could help me.
How? I'm a man of many talents, but manipulating the weather's not one of them.
I have in mind a different skill involving your sword. You see, Mother Nature dislikes it when you take something from her by force. She will defend herself. So fiercely, in fact, that I could use a defender myself. What do you say?
Sure, I'll help. Provided you go see Gremist afterwards.
Agreed. Now follow me. Time for a little storm.
Animal sacrifice?
Should we burn folk at the stake as they do on the continent? Better a sacrifice of goats and sheep, I think.
This here's a calm village.
Skugga, Svarm, Fatna, Hala!
It's starting.
Kind of like how the dog helps us in this fight, by the way. For once.
Blotter Himmel, Blotter Moiler, Flacker of Blixtar!
Boil, boil. Trouble and toil. Avada Kedavra. Sorry, I'm done. Dog, wolf, what's the difference?
Blotter Himmel, Blotter Moiler.
A storm, damn it.
I've not managed to storm that fine for ages. Did you see the drops? The size of eggs.
A little busy tending to the foglets. They weren't small either.
Ah, yes. Unfortunately, they always emerge. But perhaps that's for the best.
For the best? Why?
If manipulating the weather carried no risks, it'd not give me peace. Make it rain, make the sun shine. Some would want storms, others a sea calm as a pond frozen over. This way folk petition me only when their need is great, not because they've had a whim.
I get it. There are times I wish I didn't have to chase this necker or that drowner. Will you go see Gremist now?
With pleasure. After a storm of those proportions, I should gladly have it to help him with his ritual. Till then.
Honestly, the fact that they put so much effort into masking the repeating faces is one of the biggest reasons, probably the single biggest reason why I haven't given that a negative. There's a lot of cloned faces, but they put a lot of effort into varying the face wear, or the beard, or the hat, or the hood, or whatever. If it makes you feel any better, Taito, I'm trying to get a little bit of work done on the side while I listen. I'm still paying attention, obviously. I have voices, clothing, yeah. Effort is put into it, and
on the leaf still.
I appreciate effort.
The bloom recently.
Another seeker of Pimpernel.
Another?
Gremist has sent countless young druids into the forest. They emerge drained, with a blank stare, and with no flower. And they never speak of what happened.
Of course you follow me. They all do.
See, obviously. Interesting. Well, thank you, Easel. Thank you very much, as always, for the donation. Much appreciate the support. Thank you. And holy crap. Here I was thinking we're going to have to start delisting that game from the list. But instead, someone has put money towards it. Dun, 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 dun. I'm not sure who to put. I guess we'll put Bitrate Assassin. Just Cause 4. I admittedly haven't heard good things about it. But, I mean... You know, Just Cause 3 was amazing, so surely Just Cause 4 will be too, right? Like, that's how that works. Right?
He looked at me and laughed. But the fun's over. One of our novices, Raymond, has failed to return. I've come to find him, alive or dead.
What do you know about this forest?
Not much. Funny, isn't it? A druid should know every tree, every bush. But even we know not to venture to some parts of the isle. We can subdue animals, but not monsters. And the word is, one has made its lair here.
A Leshen? An Axabrum?
Sadly, I don't know. As I said, those who have entered do not speak of who or what they saw.
Listen, you're looking for a druid, I'm looking for a flower. Let's go in together.
Why not? I could use the help of a tracker. Lead the way.
Flower. No petals.
So where's the term come from, Huthor? No, a pack of 12 ninjas. No, 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 no. Surely not.
Hoofprints, but a biped's. Flower. No petals.
Where do the succubi get the...
Oh, no, no. Oh, stop, please. Haha. Oh, this is great. No, no, stop. Please. Stop it, that tickles. Two can play this game, you horny goat woman.
Unhand him, hellish creature. Raymond, step away from her.
Ah, calm down. I've not been harmed. I came here.
You don't know what you're saying. She's cast a spell on you.
Nonsense. I need no spell. These boys come here themselves. In fact, I must use magic to drive them away, make them go home. Only Raymond was nice, so I let him stay.
I see through your lies. Your wretched charm won't work on me. I shall kill you here and now, monster.
I mean... To be blunt, I don't think she needs a spell to do this. Anyways, what do you know what that term comes from, Huthor? I don't know if I asked that or not. God.
I don't see any reason to kill her. She's a monster, sure, but a sentient one, and basically harmless.
No such thing. Just as there's no dry water, no cold fire. But if you'll not help, very well. I shall tend to her myself.
I'd advise against it.
I will return, with one who does not carry a sword for show.
Why did you take my side? I'm afraid you'll be sorely disappointed. I don't generally couple with witches, especially not out of gratitude.
Tell me why not. Is it the scars?
I detest when a man smells of blood. You witches always reek of it. Fiend blood, trot blood, and these are my brethren.
You're right. But unlike fiends and chorts, you...
Have ample breasts and a pretty face? I know. Their lack of these attributes, is that what makes them easy to kill?
It's a bit more complicated than that. But never mind. No means no, I get it. Can't think of another way you can repay me. I'm looking for Pimpernel. You know this forest. Maybe you could help me.
I shall take you myself. And you, Raymond, go pick some more violets. Just the indigo ones this time.
Indigo? You mean blue?
No, indigo is indigo. Men.
Yep, time to kill the succubus.
I need all these flowers.
Nosy, aren't you? Wait and see.
Anyways, I was wondering how the succubi get horseshoes for themselves, but Then it occurred to me they could probably just go to the blacksmith and say, hey, I need some horseshoes. And the blacksmith's like, oh my god, feed! And then they're like, no, no. Charm, 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 charm. Then they overcast it, then they need to kill them.
Pretty, don't you think? Bellflowers, violets, kingcups, pimpernels. I must pick some edelweiss.
Yeah, it's nice enough, I suppose.
Take one, but no more. I've put a lot of work into making this cavern cozy.
Sure. I shall take one. Hell, I'm not one to talk there, Blackfile. I have partial color blindness. I literally can't tell the difference between some shades. Nah, it's not gonna let me. Alright, whatever. But, I mean, we saw a succubus in the city earlier. To go back to what Loner just talked about. Does she have horseshoes? Or goat shoes, or whatever you want to call them. Things that help her hooves. And then Geralt died. The end. Hi. Ooh. Why would I, Saffron?
Cyclops won't bother me anymore. Can look around peacefully now.
What possible reason would I have to kill her? Yeah, gotta maintain appearances after all, right? Back at 12 Ninjas. That's true, she's stealing flowers from the king's forest! And we know what the rules on poaching are. Damn, beasts come round again. Refused to go till I poured some spirit in the basin. Filled it to the brim. It drank it all in one slurp and left. One of the weeks passed and it's come again. I threw stones to chase it off. Then it threw stones back and broke 3 of my ribs. Howled and screamed till I poured some more. I've gone through my ledger. That ploughing beast drank half my supply. I shan't give it another drop, no matter what. I think it's time I called for a witcher. Interesting, Huthor. So that doesn't surprise me, since I've kind of noticed that the stuff you tend to like is pretty much the opposite of me and vice versa. One of the things I liked about Just Cause 3 was it felt like more of an actual game, as opposed to Just Cause 2, which felt like a sandbox which got boring quickly. Don't mistake me, Just Cause 2 was
recipes. Parchment's a little faded, but legible.
Was an acceptable game, but ultimately in my own scoring system, it would probably be like plus, maybe, actually probably -1 on story, and then maybe like +2 or 3 net on gameplay. Because there were just a lot of problems with Just Cause 2. Mash in the evaporator, light the fire, cool the condenser, right lever, then left. Hang on, someone write that down, because I'm not going to remember that. Mash, fire, right, left. Oh yeah, speaking of which. But yeah, I liked how the additional toolkits that Just Cause 3 gave us. I liked how Just Cause 3 basically made it more likely to just use the grapple as your only weapon. Like, it was more feasible to do that, and that made it more creative. It made it more fun for me. Also, Just Cause 3 had a story. It wasn't much of one, admittedly. This is still Just Cause. But it was actually a story. Whereas Just Cause 2, I honestly don't even remember the story from Just Cause 2. I know there was one. Yeah, exactly, a pack of 12.
Got lucky. Bit of mash left.
Yeah, pretty much hazardous. Yeah, Just Cause 2 is probably actually the example of a popcorn game for me.
Where the mash goes, probably.
I will probably never play Just Cause 2 again. I have no reason to. I played it already. Just Cause 3 also had better missions, in my opinion. In addition to just being more fun to screw around. I really enjoyed the mission structure of 3.
Ought to be enough. Time to cool it down.
Admittedly, my favorite... I don't know how to cool it. I guess I could just turn off the light? Sure, we'll do that. Admittedly, probably my favorite and most memorable mission from Just Cause 3... Whoops. Would be the one where, right after a successful mission, when everyone's drunk, including you...
I'm quite the distiller.
And you have to try and get as many kegs of alcohol intact to the town as you possibly can. And it's a lot harder to do than it sounds. That was a very fun mission. Hi, Adam. By contrast, I can't name any specific mission off the top of my head in Just Cause 2. In short, Just Cause 3 felt more like a game, whereas Just Cause 2 felt more like a sandbox. And I think that's really the clearest distinction between the two we can make.
Did everything you asked.
Phenomenal, my boy. So, Fritjof, shall we begin?
The sooner the better. We've a long night ahead of us.
The ritual is only for members of the inner circle. Thus, my dear apprentice, you must wait outside. Under no circumstances must you enter. We shall begin your tutelage come morn.
Okay.
As you wish, master.
Ha! We'll make someone out of you yet, Witcher. Now off with you. Shoot.
What do you think it means, Adam? Just based on the terminology. What does it mean to you?
I must have another. That's good stuff.
Aye, as the base from Moshgordon and Spirit from Hail Hell. Good times, Fritjof. Good times. Finally, something other than damn potions and transmutations.
Guess the ritual's not over yet.
Good. I thought I told you to stay outside. Only druids in the inner circle.
Smirkle, Smirkle. Let the boy have some fun. He's earned it.
Fine. Pour yourselves on. Gerd, let the lessons begin.
Drink hard and study hard. I like the idea.
Yeah. I call it stimulation and assimilation. First you stimulate, and then you assimilate. Shut down. Right. Let's start with ingesting toxins. Best approach, practice makes perfect.
I've practiced a lot already. Good thing.
I'll make learning my secret method easier. Look, you take the potion like this, and gulp.
Who said old age is a burden?
Well, there's no need to insult me, Adam, but yes, that is functionally correct. Oh yeah, there's another reason I was doing this.
What do you want now? I taught you all I know.
Gwent. Ever play the game?
If your question is, would I be interested in playing you? The answer is simple. No.
Afraid of losing? I understand.
Very well. Out with your deck. Win. And I'll give you my best card.
I mean, that was pretty easy, so sure. Why not? Siegfried of Denestel. We're on the same side, Witcher. You'll realize this one day.
You won. I believe you're ready to challenge Madman Lugos. I do wonder if he'll agree to play you for his Katakan.
Grand those swords, but I prefer me trusty axe.
Ah!
Hey.
Go see your friend Croc if you want to talk.
Gwent. Know the game?
The gulls shed off cliffs. Let's see your deck. It's been a dull day. We'll play for my Katakan.
Show me what you can do.
You know, I'd say something, Huthor, but that probably shouldn't surprise me at this point. For those of you not aware, I didn't like Saints Row 3 to the point where I actively disliked Saints Row 3.
Dying to gut ye. But then, they'd say Lugos and don't even matter. Take my Katakan and sod off.
Best blade's not worth shite if a weak arm's swinging at me.
Woo! We have Gwent cards. Okay, now that that's dealt with. Honestly, I really want this out of my log, so let's just get this done really quick. I hate things just being in my log, cluttering it. Ugh. Disgusting things. Now, there was one thing I liked about Saints Row 3. Can anyone guess what it is? It's probably pretty obvious. No, I would never use mods. Never. No mod run engaged.
Geralt, good of you to come by. What can I do for you?
Dubstep gun was 4.
My armor coming along all right?
It's ready. I've reinforced the joints and bathed this in acid, as my clan's tradition demands.
Thanks. How much do I owe you?
Oh, please. I'd not be here if it weren't for you. It's a gift, in thanks for what you did. Take it, and may it serve you well.
Thanks. And you take care.
What are you talking about, Raspin? And then Geralt decided to move very quickly out of Crow's Perch. He moved so quickly he had to wade across the river because he missed the road. No, Adam. God, really? Okay, back to main quest stuff. No, the thing I liked about Saints Row 3 was co-op. Oh, Corrales just said it, finally. That was the only thing I liked about Saints Row 3. Actually, 100% of that game. But I only did it because I was playing with my friend. Probably wouldn't have bothered otherwise.
Greetings, Yen.
Good thing you're here. The frostbite was starting to set in.
Well, I mean, I'm playing on a good computer on an SSD, but I do have a mod to remove Dandelion's narration, so... I've completed many games on hardest difficulty console out. Dragon Age Origins, if you want an RPG.
You should have dressed warmer.
Next you'll be pinning mittens to my coat. Can we go?
Yeah.
Quite a few years since I was last on Hindisfjall, but if I remember correctly, Lofoten should be this way.
Also Mass Effect 2.
Raised huts and fresh graves. This must be it.
Gathering of some kind. We've come at a bad time.
There's no good time to talk about the Wild Hunt.
The barely sprouted whiskers, yet in the grime they lie, and me, living and unharmed. Perhaps 'twere written in the stars.
Grass has grown over our loved ones' graves. Their memory.
Ritual of some kind. We'll have to wait.
We'll do no such thing. Dear sisters, pardon the interruption, but we've an important matter to discuss.
Can you not see we're commemorating the dead? So?
And we're looking for someone who's still alive. Please, this is urgent.
Then speak.
They say the Wild Hunt destroyed this village.
That is true, though few believe us. You don't either, I'm sure. Did you see riders on skeletal horses, wearing frost-covered armor?
Aye, that's how it was. They landed on our shores in a ship made of the claws of dead men, like in the ballads. Leif yelled to grab the children. Then they came, cut him across his face. He tried to whisper, only blood came out.
You were to ask about someone, not prod their wounds. That's enough.
What happened then?
Go on.
I ran out to get help, to get Leif. But so many bodies. Yolle, Ingvar, little Necky.
Which way did the riders go?
Towards the sea, through the ravine, on horses made of bones. Bones and ice and...
Enough! Get to the point. Now.
We're looking for a young woman, name of Ciri. Ashen hair, green eyes.
I'm sorry. She is not here.
Unless she lies in a grave. That is, I do not recall one by that name. But I've buried so many, I may have forgotten.
This Ciri, has she a scar here on her cheek?
Yes, what happened to her?
Don't know. Saw her but for a moment, right before it all. She was in the stables with Craven. 1,000 curses upon him.
Remember anything else? Anything at all?
Only that she seemed tired. Very tired. And her hair was wet.
Great. So we know she bathed. Progress.
I'm sorry, Craven. My apologies. Craven. Craven could have told you more.
This Craven you mentioned, does he have a name?
He did. Until the elders struck him from the saga of ancestors.
It's as if he has ceased to exist. The lore forbids anyone from touching him, speaking to him, even uttering his name.
What did he do to deserve that?
He fled from the wild hunt. He alone.
We need to talk to him, even if it's not in keeping with your customs.
You've come too late. He went to the garden to fight Morvarg.
A coward who willingly seeks battle? Am I the only one who sees the contradiction?
That's why he did it. Craven knew he would prove the elders wrong only if he killed Morvarg.
And thus regain his honor and his name.
Trial by ordeal. Very Skellige.
I do not mock your laws. Please also respect ours.
Nah.
Morvarg. What's that?
Who, you mean?
The vilest man ever to inhabit Skellige. Nothing was ever sacred to him. He attacked his own clan's lands, took gold from Nilfgaard, killed children, pregnant women.
Know the type.
They said he feared only one thing, the wrath of the gods. Morvarg sought to prove how wrong they were, so he sailed to Hindisfjall to ransack the goddess's garden. This was over a decade ago.
Archpriestess Ulva stood in his way. He thrust a blade between her ribs and cast her down in the mud. As her lifeblood left her, she cursed him, and Morvarg transformed into a beast.
A curse? A monster? You've got some work to do.
Thanks. Thanks, Yennefer.
I can get rid of Morvarg. Don't know what he's turned into, but a silver sword should do the trick.
It's not that simple. There have been those who have bested Morvarg, yet he always returns.
So, it's a complex curse, meaning I need more information.
I understand, but I've told you all I know.
Speak with Torridar's son, Einar. He was in the garden when Morvarg and his men attacked. He saw what happened. Of all the pilgrims there at the time, he alone escaped with his life. He settled in Larvik. You'll find him there at the landing, provided he's not out to sea when you arrive.
Where is this holy garden?
Not far from here. North. We cultivated healing herbs there once.
And now?
Now we walk only as far as the tree the goddess planted. We place our offerings and make our pleas before it.
Those who venture below remain in the garden forever.
Thanks for your help.
I understand you intend to enter the garden. I dislike it when foreigners enter the sacred grounds, but so be it.
Custom demands pilgrims make an offering of their own blood before the tree. Craven surely did so. Unless he lacked not only courage, but respect for Freyr as well.
You needn't worry about us. Geralt and I always give the gods the respect they are due.
I mean, it's true. Ugh.
Skitties. Is it true?
I don't know what you're talking about, Grey Walker. Which teaser are you referring to? Hey, I need to make an offering to the gods.
Worried this trail might have gone cold.
Even if Craven's dead, we'll manage.
How exactly?
You'll see when the time comes.
You could stand to be nicer sometimes.
I suppose. But then I wouldn't be the woman you fell in love with, would I?
No, I'm kind of with Geralt on that one. You could stand to be nicer, Yennefer. There's nothing wrong with being nice and polite. Hi, Kemek. See, I say hi, Kemek, and I greet him warmly, you know, give a slight nod of my head, and then I stab him through the neck. All very polite and straightforward. What, her comment hazardous? Usually that's used, in my experience, by someone who is either being flippant, which is probably the truth here, or by someone who simply doesn't want to change.
My. That must be Morvarg. Quite the appetite.
Mm-hmm. Might even call it Wolven.
A bite. Just one morsel. One piece. A crumb. Food. Food. Shite. Not again. Not again.
He doesn't seem happy to see us.
Wait till he gets a closer look at me.
It's funny, because I actually tend to be the opposite on that, hazardous. Kind
Let's
of.
go to that tree the sisters mentioned.
Plan to bleed yourself for the goddess?
Not necessarily, but Craven did. We just might pick up his scent.
Basically, hazardous, I can put this into simplistic terms. I'll take Gontor O'Dim over the crones any day, if that makes sense. No, Corrales.
Craven was here. Look, the impression. Kneeled down on one knee and cut himself to make the offering. Bloodstains, see them?
No. I may be inhumanly beautiful, but I don't have superhuman senses. Not like you.
Which is why you should stay up here. No offense, but in that undergrowth and mud, you'd be like a...
Ball and chain?
Planned to say it gentler, but yeah, that's basically what I had in mind.
Fine. We'll do as you say. If the need arises, I can cast spells from up here.
I don't know, watch your mana pool.
Thought you might object.
Me? Please. I can be extraordinarily conciliatory.
Yen, look me in the eye. What are you plotting?
Many things. How to seize the Temerian crown, how to sell Kaer Morhen out from under you. Go already!
Fine.
Craven's blood, flowing profusely. Trails clear. Should lead me to him.
I suppose I should add, hazardous, that I prefer real politeness to fake politeness. Which I mentioned because in my experience, this is true in real life as well, people who are horrible people tend to be fake polite, not real polite.
Something down there. Can't see a thing.
Probably not a lot, Uthor. I mean, in real life, it would be worth a bajillions, but...
Light prints. Craven trod carefully.
I mean, what's the value in one random, broken-down fort in the middle of nowhere with no strategic significance? Speed this up a little.
Looks like Morvarg got bored of sneaking around and attacked.
Not really, Gum-Gum. People see different things in different people. I usually don't put too much thought into it.
Craven's blood. Craven was injured, started running. Door won't budge. Craven must have blocked it, or it's just locked. Gotta go round.
Fine. God's sakes, you have the ability to knock down doors. Why is a locked door an obstacle for you? God. Well, Fuzzy Duck, right now what I see is a duck who is particularly fuzzy. It's very unusual, really. I remember getting lost here last time, too. Like, I have distinct memories of being like, where the hell do you want me to go? I thought it was up and around. Obviously it is not, so instead it must be... Well, I was going to say down.
Doesn't give up easily.
And around, but obviously not. So I'm gonna have to stab people now. Damn it. I hate stabbing people. Well, I looted water. And leather. I am open to suggestions. Because I don't have a no-clip. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Something down there. Can't see a thing. No bite marks. Morvarg doesn't eat his victims. Strange.
Is it Craven?
No, this one's been here a while.
What? I can't hear you. If you want to chat, come closer.
Her senses are really dulled. Lots of prints, old and new. His lair must be nearby.
Speaking of which, let's do that really quick. I'm reminded of that comment Kira said. Geralt says, there's someone else, and she said, so what? I have a feeling a lot of people in this setting feel that way. And that's why they must all die.
Where's that? Gotta go down, provided I can open the sluice. Mechanism looks pretty standard. One lever to choose the sluice gate, the other to work it.
Lever puzzles. Ah! That... Damn it. Hi, Salty. I'm not damning at you. You're cool.
Prints lead to the well. Guess Craven didn't want to be eaten. Preferred to drown. Roots. Swam right under Yen. Hey, can you hear me?
Geralt, you scared me.
Sorry, didn't mean to.
I hope not. Let me know once you find Craven.
Why would you say I don't like Geralt in the games, Gum Gum?
been for a while. Yen, found him.
And?
And I've seen rot fiends in better condition than this.
Shit. Fine, scrape together what you can and haul the bits up here.
Take it you've got a plan?
No, I just like to stare at rotting flesh. We'll talk when you get here, all right?
That's Yen. Charming as ever.
If you're paying attention, that's twice she's been cagey about what she wants to do here. I don't blame her, really, given how horrible necromancy is supposed to be in this setting. Hi, Thunderline. Anyways, yes, I do actually like Geralt quite a bit in the game. And I say game because I mean specifically Witcher 3. Although he was alright in 1 and 2, but no, I really like him as a character in 3. Excuse me. I can't imagine anyone saying he has no personality unless those people are not paying attention, don't care, or don't actually mean it.
Putrefaction set in. But the vocal cords are intact. We might still get something out of him.
Doesn't look like the talkative type.
Anyone can be made to talk. Even a corpse. One must simply know how.
Thought necromancy was strictly forbidden.
So is premarital sex. But I'm not about to be bothered by such foolishness.
Better in literally every single way by a factor of 100, Grey Walker. I don't know how to answer that, Raspin. Sorry, I'm not ignoring you. I like to think that the two were the kind of people who would work really well together if they weren't constantly afraid of the other backstabbing them.
Black magic's no joke. Casting those spells never ends well. Never.
I don't like it any more than you do, believe me. But the thought that Ciri is in danger, I like that even less.
I understand. Still doesn't give us the right to...
Geralt, please. This is not the time to debate ethics.
Oh yeah, and this is for Platty. Get up.
Need any ingredients for the spell?
The blood of a newborn, a virgin's tongue, and the eye of a newt.
Mind trying again without the sarcasm?
I don't need a thing. I'm a sorceress, not a village herbalist. All I need is energy. A great deal of energy. We're very lucky this place is saturated with magic.
It's also considered sacred. Priestesses will be furious if you use the garden's power to revive a corpse.
Geralt, you're getting on my nerves. I offer you solutions, you try to poke holes in them.
I'm not poking holes. Just thinking about the consequences. How about you? Given them any thought?
No. Geralt, I'll say it again. We're short on time. Ciri is short on time. Fine. You busy yourself pouting. I'll handle the rest. Selene, Selene, Defrain! Selene, Selene, Davidar! Are you Craven of Lofoten?
No, I have a name. I am a skull.
You died in battle. You've recovered.
Geralt, this is not the time to cheer up a corpse. A young woman. Ashen hair, green eyes. What happened to her?
She's wise. They cursed me.
I don't care about that. What happened to her? What was she doing here? Speak!
No!
Speak! Speak!
She fell almost drowned.
Help me. Help us both.
That's probably exactly why they don't do the whole scene that way, Salty.
Ciri. Zirel. Can you hear me?
I can.
I must leave you now. We will meet beneath drowned dead rock. Can you remember? Repeat it.
Drowned. Dead rock.
You're awake. And I thought you'd...
Where am I? And who are you?
It's all right. You're on Hindersfjall, village of Lofoten. They call me Skjal.
But how'd I... What?
We fished you out of the sea. Me and that friend of yours.
How long did I lie there?
All day nearabouts. 'Twas morn when we brought you in. Night's near come now.
Damn. Too long.
You needed the rest. Desperately. Been through a lot, eh? Got some nasty, fresh-looking scars.
Your timing is impeccable, Shadow Machine. I sometimes wonder if you guys try to do that on purpose. But thank you very much, Shadow Machine, as always. Much obliged for the support. And I've put that down towards Halo 1. Thank you.
Yes. I've been through a lot.
I never thought women on the continent did any fighting.
Sometimes they have no choice. And where is he? My friend.
Stepped out a while ago. Said he needed to find a boat. Why does he wear that mask? Something not right with his mug?
No. He simply doesn't like others to see it. Help me stand.
I don't think you should...
Less talk, more giving me a hand.
Ah, that's me brother for you. Out of sight for a second, and he's already put his paws on a girl.
Astrid, you're as dim as dishwater. You know perfectly well I'm helping her up.
It's a shame, I know, but I've got to interrupt your courtship. Come, we're off to the sauna.
Where?
Why's your mouth agape like you're noodling for an eel? The sauna. Girl, you was blue as a whale when we brought you in here. Your blood needs thawing.
Really, there's no need. I feel fine now.
Hey, fine? You can't stand on your own 2 feet. And it's no surprise with your muscles frozen stiff. But don't you worry. Mom and I will take care of you.
I'm sorry, but I must get to Drowned Dead Rock as fast as possible.
Shan't force you to stay. But the rock's a ways off and you can barely walk. You best take a horse.
True. Skjal can prepare a horse for you. You'll have to wait a spell, but even so, you'll get there faster than on foot.
Fine, that'll do. Thank you both very much.
Pish posh, there's no need. Now come, we gotta sweat the sick out of you.
Where are my clothes?
I've taken them already. Come on.
Oh yeah, PG-13 warning, by the way.
Man in the mask. He's from afar, isn't he?
Oh yes, from very far away.
Where exactly?
Aren't you nosy?
Surprised? Been sitting in this fish puddle me whole life. I'd love to travel like you.
Like me? No, you wouldn't like that. Trust me.
But my arm hurts. Good. Means your muscles are working. And mind the string don't catch on your nose. Ah! I know!
Yeah, I have a bit of a fondness for Skellige people. Despite the fact that I think the Skellige people are horrible. I mean, there's ups and downs. What can I say? I suppose you could say the same about just about any culture. And yeah, no, you're right. I suppose this is more of a rated R section. We could just skip it.
Alright. In you go and get out of those rags.
All of them?
I should think so.
No, I think that is rated R required, Huthor. In fact, I did a little additional digging into it, and I found out that the sexual imagery is actually the main reason, in fact, actually the only reason, this game is rated M. Now, we've talked about that before, and I don't want to get into a controversial topic, but I just found that kind of amusing. I'll have to look at that later.
Wrap yourself.
Finally. I was so worried she'd...
Ah, Mum, you always worry. Everything's fine, ain't it?
Yes, it's fine.
Good. That's good. But why have you got the towel, child? It'll just get wet.
Mum, she's from the continent. She's shy.
I was worried about drafts. A lung infection's the last thing I need right now.
See, Astrid, girls your age can be sensible after all.
Sensible girls aren't tossed on shore by the waves.
Here we are gabbing away. Steam's gone. Gotta douse the coals.
Say, back home, have you got saunas too?
You know, I don't really have a home. I'm a traveller.
Ah, that's right. Where was your ship headed?
Ship?
We fished you out of the sea. We thought you were in a shipwreck.
Yes, my ship. We set sail from Novigrad.
And what brings you to Skellige?
I'm here looking for someone.
Not your betrothed, I hope.
Why?
It'd break Skjal's heart. He's head over heels for you, girl. Sat at your bedside all the day, staring like he was painted by a master.
Astrid, I asked you not to tell her.
Oops. Well, now the milk's spilt. Do you fancy Skjal?
No.
Well, he seems nice.
Oh my. He's that bad?
Leave it, Astrid. Who she likes is her affair, and it's not to you.
Listen, it's lovely sitting here with you, but I really must go now.
I understand. Who'd want to stay in this hole? We're all related 3 times over, and the air stinks of fish.
I can't see how you're related to anyone here. No one in Lofferton groans and bitches quite like you do. Sit down and be quiet. Child, Skjal's certain to have readied the horses by now. But before you go, you ought to take a quick jump in the water. It'll do you good.
I'm sorry, but I really must go. Thank you once more.
And once more, there's no need. God's bless your journey.
Where am I? Here we go. You'll notice I've decided not to even comment on this topic. I feel like this is a topic that can't be discussed properly, so I'm just going to leave it be. Good morning, Alex.
Storms are coming, but
Oh, you're here. The horses are ready.
As am I. Shall we ride?
Listen, I hope... My sister, she didn't talk any nonsense to you, did she?
I'm sorry, but I can't bring myself to chat right now.
Right. Besides, it's not important.
I mean, you're about to die anyways.
You can ride Greyback. She's old, but she'll make the...
Run for your lives!
You stay here! I'll go and...
I can look after myself.
That's a good way to put that, Raspend. You know what I do want to talk about? The afterlife or lack thereof.
What? What was that?
The Wild Hunt.
Ragnarok? The world's end?
No, not yet. But I must go. They're here for me.
Get on the horse. I'll show you the way to the rock.
You should stay. See to Astrid, your mum.
Afterwards. Once I'm sure you'll make it. Let's go.
And thus he is branded as a nameless forever.
Watch out! Ride, Ciri! Don't look back!
You're repeating yourself, Comic.
Faster! Faster! They're catching up!
What?
So back to the horribleness.
What became of that creature? Where is he?
Stop!
What?
I saw him at Stonan, but he sold him.
To whom? Be gone.
Tell them. Clear my name!
Be gone, I say!
Yep. Yeah. I love how the necromancy is so horrible that it actually literally drains the life out of the nearby area. Granted, she kept him up for a while, enough to give the whole thing, but seriously, that was basically just a conversation. That wasn't actually raising up a monster, or, you know, summoning an army, or binding the dead, or whatever. That was basically just speak with dead, which is a fairly basic spell in several other settings. That's what I was talking about quite some time ago when we briefly brought up the necromancy thing. I love the idea that necromancy is so horrible in this setting, that it is truly a horrible, dark magic, that it would cause this much trouble and damage, again, for something so relatively simplistic. I mean, there's some settings where necromancy is basically a cottage industry. Like Warcraft. Even Lord of the Rings has a more developed form of necromancy than this setting. But whether or not there is an afterlife, so obviously we don't know. Let's just go ahead and get the obvious out of the way. I'll go ahead and give my thoughts on the matter. Based on what I see, it feels more likely that there isn't an actual afterlife, and that anything we see that might lean itself in that direction is more like something left over. The more or less traditional, the classic definition of a ghost. It's not actually the person's spirit or soul still stuck here. It's an echo. It's what's left, an imprint of a strong emotion, for example. Like an imprint, exactly. And I have a feeling that's kind of what we just saw with there as well. Because you'll notice the two things he talked most about were Ciri and his name. That came up both times when we were actually seeing him on camera. And so, seeing that, I don't think we were, to put it bluntly, I don't think we were actually talking to him at all. I think we were talking to an imprint of his strongest feelings and thoughts from right before he died. That being said, I've mentioned before what would it be like if the Lich King, ended up in this setting. Now, obviously that was presuming the idea that the Lich King's power was basically the same as his own personal power levels. But, if his power was translated into this setting, I imagine we'd have something kind of like Final Fantasy VII, where the literal life is being drained from the land everywhere he practices, right? Just this slowly encroaching wave of dead everything. No animals, no bugs, no plants, just... Now that being said, I do want to make it clear that I don't think that it is definitive that there's no afterlife. I just think that's, based on what I see, that's what I lean towards. Because there are some exceptions that kind of lean in the other direction as well. Like I said, they keep it nice and vague, which irritates the crap out of me, but, you know, whatever. Well, if there is an afterlife, then we can't. Then I don't even know where to begin speculating, Raspant, because the problem is, at that point, is there an afterlife? Are there afterlives? To use Elder Scrolls as an example, there are actually quite a few afterlives. It sounds so weird to say it that way. In Elder Scrolls, there's a lot of places you can go once you die. In Elder Scrolls, is my point, and like over a dozen actually. Same kind of thing in Faerun, if we're thinking about it. So is it that is there an afterlife specifically for the Skelligers? Or does everyone, regardless of species, go to the same afterlife? Or does everyone within the same species go to the same afterlife? I mean, there's a whole lot of options there that we don't know about, that we can only begin to speculate on because it's such a blank sheet piece of paper, sort of a thing. You know? That's true, Puzzle Fury. The Wall of the what? I'm sorry, I don't think that exists anymore, Console Hot. There we go. Okay. Now, Chemic... So as I've said, I already don't think there's much of an afterlife. But that being said, if there is the strongest argument, in my opinion, that there is an afterlife within this setting, it's the fact that this setting does not exist in a vacuum. We know with total certainty that this is a part of a multiverse, either dimensionally or planetarily, but the difference is inconsequential, really. So... Anyways, let's talk here.
What happened to the garden?
It died. Like I said, a spell. It requires a great deal of energy.
You knew it would end like this, didn't you? Didn't consider it worth mentioning?
No. I knew you'd protest. Your sense of decency is charming, but it does get in the way sometimes.
Yen, are you all right?
I'm fine now. The spell. Imagine putting wriggling cockroaches in your mouth, or swimming in manure. That's more or less how it felt.
That is a wonderfully horrible description, by the way. Like, it's one thing... One of the things that a good writer will do is they'll use a direct analogy to describe something. Because what has more impact? Oh, that felt disgusting. Or, oh, that felt like I had wriggling cockroaches in my mouth. One of those... They're both conveying the same information, but one of them is far more evocative, and therefore gets across more the idea of just how horrible this is supposed to be. Hi, Leander.
Could have shown some sympathy for the boy.
That was no boy, Geralt. It was a hunk of rotting, rancid flesh that spoke through my magic.
Didn't just speak. It howled in pain.
I know it seemed real, but it was no longer human. Do you understand? Geralt, I know we should talk, but not here, all right? I don't wish to stay a moment longer.
The garden! Our garden! How could you? We helped! And you! Inconceivable!
Now.
Don't you dare try to calm me. We've every right to be furious. Furious! And you will pay for this.
As an aside, I don't know if Yen actually believes that or is lying to herself. I like to think that she is lying to herself, personally. I think that she is trying to distance herself from what she just did because it makes it more palatable. That's my take on that, and I might be giving her too much credit. If I am, well, then she's a horrible human being, and the end. Although there's plenty of evidence of that.
I'm sorry.
Is that all? Will you say nothing else?
Nothing that would help.
I shall make sure all Skellige hears what you did here.
Wait. I did this. I alone. Geralt tried to stop me. I refused to listen.
I might have known. They warned me about you. Sorceresses. None shall open their door to you. None shall feed your hunger, and none shall tend to your wounds.
Yen, you didn't have to do that.
But I wanted to. I'd rather not talk about it. We must focus on what Skal told us.
Key to finding Ciri is that ugly thing Skell saw on the beach. That's what I think. You know, I saw something, or someone who looked just like that.
Where?
In Velen, in a castle until recently ruled by a self-proclaimed baron, now controlled by his right-hand man, Sergeant Ardle.
You must go and get the creature. I don't know, buy him, kidnap him.
The thing's clearly cursed. Its mind is a jumble. Can't have anything resembling a normal conversation with it.
Grumbling won't get us anywhere. All will be well. A curse, please. Nothing a sorceress and a witcher couldn't handle. Now, tell me, do you... No, never mind.
You were gonna ask me something. What was it?
Tell me, do you think... Is there a chance that thing might be Ciri? That... well... she's been transformed by some curse?
Don't even want to think about it.
Geralt, we must.
Might be. From what I know, she was looking to cure a powerful curse while in Novigrad. But I'll lose it if I try to deal with that possibility now. We have to do what we can, see what happens.
As we've talked about several times, curses usually don't end well even if you do terminate them. So, I can understand Geralt not even wanting to contemplate at that point.
Didn't learn much, though we can be sure Ciri's not in Skellige anymore. Not in Velen or Novigrad either. She's disappeared. Again.
Perhaps we should re-examine what we've learned. We might have missed a clue that would push us forward.
Certainly hope that's the case. Makes me wonder what she's gotten herself into.
Can't even begin to imagine. But we will pull her out of it, safe and sound. That I promise you.
Ciri's trail in Skellige. We followed it, exhausted the possibilities. Might be time to go back to the continent.
Before you do, there's one thing. It's important.
What's that?
Let's meet in Larvik, at the Warriors' Hall. We'll speak there.
Fine. Larvik. See you there soon.
That's true, Kira.
For that, and for your help in the garden. I'd not have managed without you.
It was nothing.
Geralt, you know me. I'm rare to praise, but when I do, it is sincere.
So despite everyone disagreeing with Kemek, I think she would. Not that she cares about the garden. Who gives a damn about the garden? But I do think she cares about people, and once the immediacy of her focus is less immediate, I think she's more inclined to be... I hesitate to use the word altruistic, but, you know... I don't have a better word at the moment, so whatever. Make of it what you will. As for could this be fixed, that I don't know. Unfortunately, my knowledge of necromancy in this setting is actually exceptionally limited. Not in the least because of the fact that, you know, well, in the game, it's only really showcased once, and we just saw it.
By going from the village, baron whore!
You best take that back.
You defile sacred ground. The gods will never forgive you for this.
Ye ain't welcome here, witch.
Always did know how to win friends.
I was provoked.
Saw it happen. Wanted to talk to me about something?
Amos Far Ipsis, a specialist on djinns. Heard of him? I found a tome he'd penned in the Emperor's library. Far Ipsis set off for Skellige one day and was never heard from again. I asked some of the local folk. Some here still remember him.
They know what happened to him?
The locals say they last saw his ship off the coast of Hindisfjall. Then a once-in-an-eon storm broke.
So he's probably fish food by now.
Not necessarily. I must learn what became of him.
Why? Do you know him?
No, it's not the mage who interests me. It's his djinn.
I enjoy this quest, too. I'm not going to say it the way you guys did. But I do love how Huthor consistently portrays Yennefer as a terrible human being, despite choosing her and liking this quest.
Why are you even interested? Djinns are dangerous sometimes, and malicious all the time.
I remember. But the advantages outweigh the risks. If I can tame a djinn, I shall gain incredible power. And that could be useful to us one of these days.
You sure this mage actually had a djinn?
His books strongly suggest he did. He describes taming one, harnessing energy from its power.
Storm wouldn't pose a threat if he'd had a djinn. He could just utter a wish.
Perhaps he had none left, or something unexpected happened.
Alright, so what exactly do you expect me to do?
You must help me find this djinn. I've no gold to offer in reward, but I shall be ever so grateful.
No, I don't, Gum Gum. I think it wouldn't fit the format at all.
Since you put it that way, fine. I'll help you.
Thank you. A boat awaits in the harbor. Come.
I mean, it would make sense in lore that a djinn would be incredibly powerful in a fight, for the same reason that a high vampire was incredibly powerful in a fight.
See, you've managed to prepare everything already.
I have.
How could you possibly know I'd agree?
I didn't. Decided to risk it.
Again, it's not about the tree, Huthor. Who gives a damn about a stupid tree?
Once you might try to take the initiative.
Would you even let me?
It would depend on the situation.
Yennefer's like, wait for me! I didn't even mean to do that. That was just me stumbling over the edge.
Respect, Witcher.
Did you sever his head? Head of a giant on your mind.
But I do find it interesting how this game lets you fight several things that are very high tier, and arguably higher tier than Geralt should be able to deal with, and you can actually take them out. But most of those things are at the end of very, high-level side quests, or at the end of, the entire main quest.
The ship carrying the djinn sank somewhere in this area.
Not too precise as leads go.
I'll cast a spell on our boat. We'll know if there are any wrecks on the seafloor below us.
Alright, let's get to work.
Mind if I take the helm?
I got a choice.
No.
Well, in fairness, we don't really know too many details about the Hist, as I've talked about in the Elder Scrolls Lorerun.
Getting in or not?
Apparently the game doesn't think I'm in, and I don't know how to fix that. Help! Help! Just mashing E. There we go. Had to go way at the other end. Jesus.
Not sure this djinn thing's a good idea.
We managed to seize one before. Do you remember?
Of course. Dandelion almost lost his voice that time.
How lucky your exorcism saved it.
Oh, welcome. Pay close attention. Hopefully you'll learn something.
I don't even know who Ox is, Vigilant. Now, first of all, thank you, Vigilant, very much. As ever, appreciate the donation. Vigilant has suggested several negatives which all have a similar theme. This game's connection to the previous games. Now, yeah, I don't know who that is, Vigilant. I've tried to push Witcher 2 as much out of my brain as I can. Now, that is actually a valid point to make, though. Now, so, I don't care, obviously. Witcher 1, yeah, okay, it was decent enough, and I'll never play it again. Witcher 2, well, I want to forget Witcher 2 as much as possible. So, Witcher 3 having no direct connections to the previous two games, or no well-done connections to the previous two games, doesn't bother me all that much. This is made even more true by the points I made earlier about how, this wasn't designed to begin with, and Witcher 3 kind of retcons things, and blah, 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 blah. But this is something that we do need to discuss from a review perspective. And it's the question is basically how much should basically a franchise affect your rating of an individual game? Because I've heard several different philosophies and mentalities when it came to this. Some people think that you should judge a single thing completely on its own merits, completely divest it from past and future. Now, I don't think that extreme is good, because I could point to things like Avengers Infinity War, or Back to the Future 3, or Lord of the Rings Return of the King, or Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, or, there's too many cases. I know those are all films, but there's too many cases when the other things in the work directly tie into and inform the thing, and I feel like that needs to be taken into account. But on the other hand, like, if I was to rate Mega Man 6, for example, which I hope to do someday, do we look at Mega Man 1 through 5, when we take into account Mega Man 6? And I feel like this is a legitimate question that we should consider several times, because this is going to come up in many, many future video game reviews whenever we do, especially the In-Depth Classic series. So, in this exact case, should Witcher 1 and 2 matter when reviewing Witcher 3? Because we are reviewing it. This is a full premiere run at this point. Hi, Nerozaz. Now, I will say, just to go ahead and toss my own opinion out there, that I've said several times, I do think that Witcher 3 is kind of a weird case. Like, let's use Mass Effect. Shadow Machine mentioned Mass Effect. Mass Effect 3 should absolutely take Mass Effect 1 and 2 into account. Why? Because Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 are one story. Or at least they were supposed to be one story. So, in judging Mass Effect 3, and 2, really, you by definition have to take into account the previous events, because you're basically judging Chapter 3 of a 3-chapter story, right? I mean, in that case, I think that's mandatory. In the Mega Man case I meant earlier, it's a lot more variable, since Mega Man 1 through 5 don't have any particular impact on Mega Man 6. The Mega Man games didn't really start getting any interconnected continuity until Mega Man 8 and Mega Man X2. So I've already established kind of a precedent there. The idea that it should matter more depending on how much a sequel or sequential work is a part of the previous games. Now, this is not just relevant for story points, by the way. This is relevant for quality. We've actually briefly touched on this. In fact, this came up when it came to Kingdom Hearts 3. Do you remember that? Now, Kingdom Hearts 3 was very definitively part of one story, so we had to take into account previous Kingdom Hearts games when it came to reviewing Kingdom Hearts 3. But the specific point I'm mentioning is we actually, if you'll remember, gave a plus to Kingdom Hearts 3 specifically for being better than previous Kingdom Hearts games in a specific aspect, which was something that, because of the nature of its connected part, basically imagine if Chapter 3 of the story is written much better than Chapter 1 and 2. Therefore, simply by virtue of being such a significant improvement, it got a positive. So this applies to gameplay concepts, not simply story concepts. This is another reason why I hesitate to automatically say, at all times, a game should take into account its franchise. But anyways, this leads us back to our core point. Is Witcher 3 Part 3 of the Witcher saga? Now, I could see arguments both ways on that. I could, because I could see a mentality there. So, an argument against. Witcher 1 and 2 really don't have anything to do with 3. Not really. There's no significant story connecting points other than the fact that Witcher 1 was a story that led into 2, and then Witcher 2 was a story that happened before 3. So, yeah, I know, Kamek. So I don't think Witcher 1 or 2 are in any strong way connected to Witcher 3, other than the fact that they happen to happen in the same timeline, following the same character. Now, that's just my opinion. But I could also see an alternative perspective there, because Witcher 3 is the end of the Geralt saga, very, very definitively. And you could say very strongly that most of Geralt's story of the games is its own arc. You know, he died in the books, in the short stories, whatever, and then he was brought back by Witcher 1, and then we see the story of Geralt from Witcher 1 to the end of Witcher 3, to the end of Toussaint, Blood and Wine. Ergo, the idea of the fact that that Witcher 1, 2, and 3 are Geralt's story is something I actually agree with completely. Because, right? Now, I have said, I actually agree with Hazardous. I've said this many times before, actually. Witcher 3 is a game that does not need 1 or 2. I've said dozens upon dozens of times, I've even recommended to several of my friends, that there is no need for them to play Witcher 1 and 2, that you can skip right to 3 and enjoy 3 just fine with no previous experience or knowledge. We actually talked about this way back, about a week ago, when we started streaming this game. That was a topic. We had a whole discussion about it. The whole should Mass Effect 3 be made for newcomers to the series thing. And I mentioned one of the biggest reasons I felt why that worked in this case was because Witcher 3 was not part 3 of a story. Not really. And given that I have already very strongly made that statement and recommendation, I think Witcher 3 should not consider Witcher 1 and 2 in its existence. Because in my opinion, and I've already given this opinion, I gave this opinion a week ago, Witcher 3 is... Let me use Star Wars as an example. Star Wars A New Hope stars Luke Skywalker. Star Wars Heir to the Empire, in part, stars Luke Skywalker. Star Wars Children of the Force, and that's the wrong one, isn't it? What's the name of that awful, awful book? Children of the Jedi? Was that it? iJedi? Was it iJedi? I think it was iJedi. I wasn't going to go as bad as Crystal Star. I think it is iJedi. Pretty sure it's iJedi. Let me look up the thing here. No, iJedi is about Corrin. That can't be right. Maybe it is iJedi. Whatever. We'll just say it's iJedi. Star Wars iJedi stars Luke Skywalker. Okay? So that's 3 stories, all set in the same continuity, that all star the main character, Luke Skywalker. However, if you're not familiar with these works, let me just tell you that these 3 works are completely disconnected from each other. A New Hope, ignoring the big time gaps that exist in between these, A New Hope doesn't really have anything to do with Heir to the Empire, and Heir to the Empire doesn't really have anything to do with iJedi. Now, there are connecting points, because of course there are, because continuity exists, or at least kind of exists. But I would argue, in other words, it's a different situation from that to Back to the Future 1, Back to the Future 2, and Back to the Future 3. I don't have a proper lorium for this. I should probably come up with one. Because there's stories that are direct sequels, and then there's stories that are not. This is going to come up when we do the Zelda lore run, believe it or not. Because most of the Zelda games that are connected to each other are not direct sequels. Majora's Mask is not a direct sequel to Ocarina of Time. Phantom Hourglass is not a direct sequel to Wind Waker. Even though in both cases, those games happened literally within a matter of weeks after the previous one, and star the same character. I do need to come up with a term for that. Anyways, point being, I think that Witcher 3 is sufficiently disconnected from 1 and 2 as to be a not direct sequel thing. That is my opinion, and I've already given it, like I said. But I think this is a good topic to have, Vigilant, and you've got my brain going on this one, for example. Because this then gives us a standard. something to use as a baseline to help judge this in the future. In other words, to use a parallel, if we were reviewing Mass Effect 3, you know, your points about the disconnect between Witcher 1 or Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2 would absolutely be valid and would absolutely be something that I would agree with you on as something that deserves a negative. I will give you a direct parallel. Jacob in Mass Effect 3, right? By himself, Jacob is a negative to Mass. If we ever actually do an in-depth classic review of Mass Effect 3, then I guarantee you right now, Jacob's getting a negative. Not in and of itself, but because of Mass Effect 2. So I guess that's, I don't know what else to say to that. Moving on. We do need to come up with a term for that, because direct sequel's easy. Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2, direct sequel. Boom. Maybe we could just call it an indirect sequel? I mean, just make it nice and simple. Like, say, like I said, Majora's Mask is an indirect sequel to Ocarina of Time. Or, what's another example? Mega Man 6 is an indirect sequel to Mega Man 5. Or, let's see, what's another good franchise? Skeletal continuity. Nobody likes Jacob. I liked Jacob in 2. How we could workshop that. Let's move forward while we think about this.
Yeah, how was I supposed to know that incantation meant begone and plow yourself?
You should have studied foreign languages.
Gonna keep bringing that up for the rest of my life?
Of course. Your last wish effectively assured it.
My wish was about us being together always, not about you mocking my every mistake.
Careful what you wish for. And when your wish is granted, you must accept it with all attendant circumstances.
Yeah.
And as for your missteps, I don't rightly see why I shouldn't laugh if they're amusing. There's something here, on the bottom. It's too deep here. You can't dive that long.
You underestimate me.
On the contrary. After all, I asked you for help. I'll cast a spell. It will slow your heart for a time. You can stay submerged longer.
Assad I cried a Rithorn.
Ready. Careful down there.
Of course it fell into a frickin' crag.
How's it going?
Yeah, and you know I hate it when you read my mind.
Strictly speaking, I'm not reading your mind, but using telepathy. Besides, you've nothing to hide, right?
Wouldn't admit it if I did. Not the point.
See anything interesting?
A shipwreck and a cavern. I'll look inside. Snapped masts, busted planks, and a whole swarm of drowners. Probably drawn by the corpses of drowned crew. Then made their nest here. There's also a Clan Drummond figurehead.
Not the right ship. Come back up.
Where would the Elder Scrolls series fall into? That would be an indirect sequel. You could very strongly argue that they aren't even sequels at all, but I'd say there's enough bits and pieces that we can call them indirect sequels, or whatever we end up calling that.
Where to now?
Wherever the leads take us.
I like the idea that she's generating the wind here to push the ship. Just
say we find the Djinn. What'll you do? Ask for a beautiful house? And a palace? And a queen's crown?
Are we still talking about the Djinn? Or have we moved on to a talking fish?
Doesn't much matter. Both make wishes come true. What would yours be?
You'll learn in due course.
Well, that's why he didn't get away, Consulate. Spoilers. Considering the short story nature of the Witcher books, it wouldn't surprise me if that was kind of deliberate, Kemek.
Another wreck.
Let's see if our Djinn's down there.
Oh, I agree. The connections in Elder Scrolls are so vague. I have put my opinion out there more than once that you should consider each Elder Scrolls game its own continuity. And I stand by that opinion.
It's been here a while. Woods rotted.
Look around, but be careful. Look for something that might indicate it's the mage's ship.
Ah.
Beautiful craftsmanship.
What do you have?
A war horn, bearing Clan Haemai symbols.
Well, then I speak in ignorance, Taitu, and ignore me. Although by that logic, you could argue that Witcher 1 was a short story, and Witcher 2 was a short story, and Witcher 3 was a novel.
Skellige's buckler, Clan Haemai symbols.
Donar's clan.
Donar was a babe in swaddling clothes when this buckler landed here. Longship belonged to Clan Dimon. Yen, doubt any of these boats were the mages. These are old sunken longships.
Come back then. We must search elsewhere.
Yeah, Witcher 3 is 3 novels. Or 1 novel and 2 short stories, I suppose.
Go even quicker if you helped me down there.
I prefer to observe matters from up here, most definitely.
Yeah, like when we were looking for the Golden Dragon and an avalanche swept us off the trail. Me clinging to the remains of a bridge for dear life, you gripping my waist, admiring the view. Remember? Chasm below us was breathtaking. Rustling trees, a lazily flowing stream.
I remember, though I found myself admiring what I had right in front of me.
Cool, Alex. I hope you enjoy it. I don't remember Permeus, if I'm being completely honest. I know Hearts of Stone was kind of short.
And there's something on the bottom. I'll see what it is.
Like, I say short. I still consider it an expansion, but it's definitely shorter than Blood and Wine.
See something?
Something doesn't do it justice. A huge crater, as if a meteorite landed here.
I must see it.
Diving in after all?
No, I should cast another spell, to see through your eyes. Now relax. I su foltja beidem ein echte iliveid. That is no meteorite crater.
What is it then?
The effect of teleportation. A powerful force cut out a fragment of the seabed, rocks and everything lying within the teleportation zone.
Always claimed portals were dangerous.
I believe we're on the right track. Look for anything that might contain a djinn.
Fine, but get out of my eyes. Too cramped in here for us both.
I su foltja beidem ein echte iliveid.
Also a nice touch. You'll notice that the ship is clean cut. It actually looks kind of unnatural here. I'll try to get a better angle. You can kind of see just the portion that was left behind, I should clarify. No. Just tapping E. Certainly somewhere around here is something you could interact with. Anything? No? Well, what about that guy? No? Seriously? Oh my god, these controls are awful. Yeah, whatever.
No djinn here, but there's something you ought to like.
What?
Half a seal.
That'll do. Come back up.
Patience is for those with time, Leander. No, I already gave a negative for bad controls. Actually, I think I gave 2 for different issues.
Only found half. Can you do anything with this?
I can use it to locate the other half, to within a dozen yards.
And once we find that, we should find the djinn.
Exactly. Ready? I'll take us there on the count of 3.
Oh, no, not another portal.
Stop whining. 1, 2... 3.
Said you were gonna go on 3.
I did. Look, we must search the area.
Yen, not so fast. Gotta tell me what this is about first. Why do you want this djinn?
But you already know. A djinn's power is priceless to a mage.
Won't worm your way out of it. Not this time. Tell me the truth or I'll leave.
You needn't resort to blackmail. You would have learned eventually.
True, but after the fact. I want to know now.
How long has this been going on, Geralt? This thing between us? 15, 20 years? We repeatedly split up, then returned to one another. Something draws us to each other, but I can never be certain if it's a true feeling or merely a bit of mischief by a djinn.
So that's it? This is about my last wish?
You asked that djinn to bind us together forever. I want to ask this one to take that wish back.
I get it. You want to know what'll happen if magic no longer binds us.
I want to know if when the djinn's magic is gone, if we've any magic left of our own.
I gotta admit, I'm actually completely with her on that point. Like, really. I don't even feel the need to establish my point there.
Wondered that myself many times.
You see? We're just a step away from learning the truth. Come, let's search the ship.
Yeah, exactly, Mind Blast. Hi, Darth Trinius. I have to admit, I'm also kind of biased towards this a little bit.
This was quite the eccentric, asking the djinn to lift half his ship to a mountaintop.
He didn't necessarily. Djinns are inherently mischievous. This one might have granted his wish and perverted it in doing so.
In that case, I'd appreciate it if you didn't wish I'd disappear from your life.
I've yet to decide how to word it.
I wish he disappears by I have to admit, I am biased towards this quest because the romantic in me actually really enjoys the idea of love grown. I've said several times that I don't actually believe in love at first sight. I don't. I don't think that a real love can just happen. What I do think, and this is also based on observation, is that love can be something that develops over time, that actually becomes after a while, right? And thus grows into something more real with time and experience. And I have to admit, the romantic in me likes the idea that these two, over time, actually eventually get to the point where they develop real, legitimate feelings for each other. Like I said, I just like that idea. And I like Geludo's thought. It was one of Uncle Vernon's ideas. Well, let's just get rid of that, shall we? So there's the neat cut, by the way, that I pointed out earlier. Very nice touch. I really do like that.
Nothing here.
Yeah, everything I've understood about djinns is that they're very high tier for this setting.
Nothing interesting here.
As an aside, and I'm pretty sure I've actually already given the game a positive for this, but one of the final reasons I like this is because it's put into the hands of the player, basically. In short, you can decide if there is actual love there or not, and you can decide whether or not you go with Yennefer or Triss. And whether you choose Triss or don't choose Triss, choose Yennefer or don't choose Yennefer, all four paths are well written. And as I've said before, that's rare. Really small touch, by the way. You'll notice there is snow even on the cut of the wood, which there should be.
Interesting. Wonder what this means.
True, upon a time. But even then, I mean, I've seen games with 3 romances where one of them is well written and then 2 of them are kind of thrown together.
Nice shoes. Looks like the impact with the mountain was so powerful it popped the wearer right out of them. Mage must have slept here. Wonder what this means.
And yeah, he is mega dead.
Blood. Someone was dragged across the deck. War left this mark when the ship suddenly tipped to one side. Nothing here.
Yeah, he got smooshed. Very smushed.
I think you should see this.
What do you have? It's Amos. Looks exactly like the etching in the book. Except his head was intact there.
Think the Djinn did this to him?
No, it wouldn't attack its master. This looks rather like an unfortunate accident. When the storm broke, Amos must have uttered a wish like, "Take us away, anywhere, to a mountaintop, even." And the Djinn granted the wish literally. They had a hard landing. Amos was thrown off his feet and against the wall. The bookcase did the rest.
Always knew too much studying could kill you. If he died while being teleported, Seal might still be on him. Behold.
Bravo! Come to the deck. I've an idea.
No, Cyberpunk will do something different, Chemic. Cyberpunk will be Novigrad on crack. Conceptually. And I'm actually looking forward to that. It is a precious rare game that actually really does cities justice. Like the very idea of a city in a game. As I talked about several days ago.
Step back a bit.
What are you going to do?
Summon and tame the Djinn. It's not likely to be happy. Stand at the ready.
Came Djinn, Vrif Kaishta en Gaia. Kaishta et Displair, Gevired me castle.
One thing I find amusing, to my knowledge, you don't have to fight a super boss to romance Triss, but you do for Yennefer. Doesn't that just sound appropriate?
You must weaken him while I draw him into the sphere.
Ooh.
Care to trade places?
That's some health.
Just a bit more. I can feel his strength waning.
I don't understand the question, Raspin.
Got you! Your master died before uttering his last wish. I cannot capture you. We can struggle like this for eternity, or I can release you. If you do one thing for me. Do you see the spell that binds us? Only a Djinn can remove another Djinn's spell. Remove this one and you'll be free. You are free!
Well, 2 reasons, Raspin. 1, Novigrad. 2, if it's not, then they've failed miserably, because Cyberpunk is going to be very centrally focused on a city. And I suppose 3, Pondsmith is working with them on the whole thing, too.
Storm's over.
Yes. It's all over.
Maybe we should sit. You look a bit dazed.
I'm not, but we can sit.
I mean, I just fought a Djinn, for God's sakes. Yeah, exactly, upon a time. If they fail at Night City, then they have failed. That's going to be multiple negatives.
Feel any better?
I told you, I'm fine.
Don't need to play tough for me. That was a hard fight. Maybe not as hard as the last time we tamed a Djinn, but still.
No comparison, I'm afraid. Half of Rind suffered then. Now I'm merely a bit tired. Thank you for coming, Geralt. I'd have had a much harder time of it on my own.
Well, never could say no to you.
Perhaps that will change now.
Feel anything? That anything's different?
I expected... I don't know what I expected, actually. A bit of vertigo, perhaps. I thought you'd become a stranger to me. That I'd look at you and not feel a thing. But it's not like that at all. Nothing's changed.
Djinn might have cheated us after all.
Why?
Because I don't feel that anything's changed either. I love you, Yen.
And I love you.
I was actually about to say the same thing Nero says. You notice she opens up first, and then they give the player the option. And I've seen what happens if you say no.
Can't be all sweetness and light.
Strange. Done that so many times. But it felt like our first kiss to me.
It was, in a way. Besides, once you say I love you, a kiss has to taste differently.
Yeah, I've seen it too, Huthor. It's just... oh, right in the gut. Just, oh, you know? Yikes. Really well written. Really well voice acted. Absolutely horrifying. God. Like, horrifying's not the right word. I don't know what the right word is. It's a gut punch. But yeah, there's got to be something extremely relieving. Surely you know what that feels like. Imagine the first time you've actually tried to open up to someone. It doesn't have to be about romance, but something very deep and personal to you. And then they either reciprocated or understood, or in general comprehended. That relief, that overwhelming relief. Oh, thank God. Surely you know what that feels like.
Maybe we ought to test a few other things. Amos's cabin looked cozy.
Not so fast, Geralt. We'll have plenty of time to visit cozy cabins later. But I doubt the world will end if we sit here a while.
And that's just really sweet right there.
My, it's lovely.
Mm-hmm. Think the spirits of Skellige favor us. Next time we go on horseback.
A horse would never make it down that mountain.
What
I could have.
Well, I'm due to appear in Vizima. We must report to the Emperor after all.
Ciri's our concern, and only ours.
At heart, perhaps. But it's not what we agreed with Emir. We must see him.
Awfully loyal to your patron.
He happens to be your patron as well, darling. You do well to remember that. Otherwise he might feel compelled to remind you.
If we gotta, we gotta.
We wouldn't have known Ciri had returned if not for the Emperor and his agents. It's the least we can do.
Yen, what happened back there?
Was very nice. Let's not ruin it by hashing out the details.
I'm going to see the Baron. Collect Uma from him, then we'll ride for Kaer Morhen.
I shall join you as quickly as I can.
See you, Yen. Take care of yourself.
I bet you know the answer to that, Huthor. Just by virtue of knowing me. So someone in chat, forgive me, I didn't catch who asked it. But someone in chat asked, why do people think Cyberpunk 2077 will be a good game based on their track record? And that is an extremely valid question. If we look at it from the binary perspective of Witcher 1, Witcher 2, Witcher 3, then Cyberpunk, Witcher 3 could have just been a fluke. It could have just been a whoops. You know, as I've said before, and I do firmly stand behind this statement, I think this game was in many ways fortunate, lucky, as I like to put it. Even though I don't actually believe in luck. But here's the point. You know, I think that a lot of things kind of combined in a manner that wasn't really predicted to give us the excellence that is this game. Come on, there we go. Meanwhile, I never actually finished this side quest, or these other 3 side quests. I mean, I think the pluses over here give across my opinion of Witcher 3 very distinctly, and I stand by this. I don't hide from these pluses, or these minuses. But, well, let's just say that I am admittedly very nervous about Cyberpunk. However, I do have at least some faith, and that's basically based solely on the opinion, let's call it the faith, that there are enough talented creative people who have, and this is important, legitimate passion for what they're doing. That they really want to make the best game that they can. And even when it comes to something I don't like, I will always respect that kind of passion. I will always respect that kind of mentality. Now, Loner is correct. They do, as I talked about, I think it was 4 days ago now, sometime during this run, we talked about how CD Projekt Red does encourage crunch. At the very least, even publicly, we know that. We know that they push crunch. They may not mandate crunch, but they effectively do. We talked about that. We had a whole discussion about that. And that's not cool. And under no circumstances do I want to come across as saying, oh, I'm totally cool with it. But I don't know. We will see. That is really ultimately my opinion here. We will see. I would probably have sufficient faith to try it as a day one buy, if not for the show. I know what you're thinking. Well, what does the show change? Well, the show has had more, has a ludicrous amount of people put both time and money into going ahead and making Cyberpunk work. Or Cyberpunk a run, I should say. So we'll see. This is really what that boils down to. We'll see. However, and I know this sounds simultaneously idealistic and cynical, I am hopeful that we have a BioWare situation here. If you don't understand what I mean by that, Neverwinter Nights 1, first expansion, well, actually that's not fair. Neverwinter Nights 1, and then Hordes of the Underdark, and then KOTOR, and then Mass Effect, and then Dragon Age. Like, I think I'm getting the order a little bit out of the way here, but do you understand my point?
Gonna kill the Chaosmores.
Some people disagree on when BioWare hit their peak, but there's still an undeniable incline of quality from the late 90s up until about the early aughts, or mid-aughts. About Dragon Age 2 for me, Raspent, and I like Dragon Age 2. You know, but funnily enough, Gum Gum, I don't actually know.
Time to gather a raiding party. A sword that don't taste. You're you dimwit! Drop one more and I'll keelhaul you!
Got a minute?
Prepare my boat, can't you see? Nilfgaardian dogs were the hunter's son.
It's him again.
Got bigger game in mind. Morvarg.
Ah, so them's your apples. Alright, ask away. In praise of Freya.
When is the Mass Effect lore run? About 5 years ago.
You were there when Morvarg raided the garden. Heard you alone survived.
True. I managed to flee. Great Mother was looking out for me that day.
Mm-hmm. Bet she didn't give a lick about the priestesses.
Apparently. Morvarg had them bound, then slit their throats like horses for the sacrifice. And he laughed. Understand? He laughed. but Archpriestess Ulver cursed him with her dying breath. You are beastly now, remain so forevermore. Ah, saintly woman.
This August 29th will be my 8th year, Taito.
What happened to Morvarg?
Hard to believe, but fur rose through his skin, and his mug stretched forth into a muzzle like a dog's or a wolf's. He howled, long and grieving, then lunged at his men. They tried to run, but he was fast as lightning. As he killed them, clamped his jaws round their throats, they turned to ash, just like that. Ash that seeped from twixt his fangs.
Not good. Curse must be complex, multi-leveled.
Such is the Great Mother's power.
Didn't help the priestesses. Why not?
How could I? Alone against a dozen raiders that... Why are you staring?
Just wondering. You people, obsessed with honor, courage, and so on. But you just cut and run? Strange.
I ain't proud of it. Since that day, I've been seeking a worthy death at sea. Seems the goddess, she's not seen fit to summon me yet.
Thanks for your help.
Goddess, guide your sword.
You sure fucking showed that icy horse, son.
Ha! That's actually kind of cool, Taito. 1 in 3 is not a bad ratio when Steam exists. For the record, by the way, my copy of Cyberpunk is on GOG. Anyways, yes, Gum Gum. Valve's doors are far too tightly closed. We get very little information on the underhoods there. It's one of the reasons why, for the longest time, we haven't even known what they've been developing. If anything, we still don't really know. Yeah, I remember when I first learned what Keelhaul meant, too. It was just, oh my god, why would you do that? Was basically my thoughts on the matter. Mass Effect 2, I think, would work as an IDC. I know that we could argue back and forth about what defines a classic, but for the IDC format, ultimately, whatever, right? I don't feel like coming up with a third brand name just to qualify for things that are more recent, but are still an IDC kind of a stream. Also, yeah, Mass Effect 2 is at this point, what, 13 years old? Something like that? Yeah, no kidding, Low Rose Gamer. Really? It was 2009. That's later than I thought. Must have been Mass Effect 1 I'm thinking of. No, I'm thinking of Dragon Age. Dragon Age came out in 2006, didn't it? I think. I don't know. I don't know anything. Ignore me. Look it up. I am admittedly not great with dates. Skyrim would qualify for an IDC as well. I would rather not do one. I mean, I feel like I talked about that game rather sufficiently during the lore run, but... So Mass Effect 1 was 2007. Dragon Age was 2008? That can't be right. What the hell was 2006 then? WoW Classic IDC. So you hear me joke about saying 15 gameplay negatives. I'm pretty sure I could make 15 gameplay negatives happen just off the top of my head for WoW Classic. Probably more. Hang on, now I'm looking it up. You got me looking here. Okay, so what do we got? 2006. Age of Empires 2 came out. Grandia 3, Star Wars Empire at War. Wow, that's... Tales of Fantasia, Shadow Hearts, Mega Man powered up on the PSP. Oblivion came out in 2006. Wow, that's a weird thought. Final Fantasy 11, Mother 3, Half-Life 2 Episode 1, Valkyrie Profile Lenneth, Star Fox Command. Oh, there was an interesting game. Mega Man ZX. I must have been thinking of Oblivion. Kingdom Hearts 2. Tales of the Abyss. I swear there was another game. Ah, Dark Messiah of Might and Magic. That was the one that was in my head recently. Oh, no. This was it. Neverwinter Nights 2. That was the big 2006 release. And I remembered that because I remembered it was something that was in competition with Oblivion. And yeah, Neverwinter Nights 2 was it. Anyways, moving on. Back to the game. Still need to figure out how to find this stupid werewolf. See you around, Baron. Have a good swim.
Key? Raymond? Where's the key? All I have in the chapter house. The crate. But the key? Where's the key? Why so silent? Raymond, you thief, you rogue, you whoreson, you worthless bastard! I will find the key without you, idiot, stupid prick! Refreshing.
Alas, poor Yorick. He sucked. I believe is the way that worked.
Draft from below. A cave?
Yeah, I know he isn't dead. He's coist. He's double coist. No, Gum Gum, I do not. I've always disagreed with that sentence. I know what you're talking about. It's a reference to an actual developer. I forget whom, and I don't care. But I look at that like, yeah, okay, and... New tech is nice and all, but new games is what I'm interested in. After all, if a game is just fanciful new tech with nothing else really going for it, then... Well, then we have Phantom Hourglass, don't we? Or a lot of Nintendo titles I could list, actually. We'll see, Taito. And I know that's not as in-depth as you're probably wondering, but honestly, that is where I'm at with it. Cautiously optimistic, but I'm not really expecting much. We'll see. Yeah, very good point, Kemek. As I pointed out earlier, this is a BioWare game, which is not exactly known for its innovation, at least from a tech perspective. We don't actually know how many parts it's going to be in Corrales. Hell. Does anybody know what I'm supposed to do here? I mean, I know I'm supposed to get in the cave under there. That's not... Yeah. I don't think I can do a Tyka's voice. Hell. Yeah, I can't do it. Raise the gate. Okay, well, let's see if it'll let me keep it raised this time. No, it's still being weird. Yeah, but that wasn't a new thing. Yeah, hazardous. Even at the time. Weird. Okay, whatever. I'm not saying it doesn't deserve praise, I'm just saying it's not new tech. Ah. He really likes to do that roll. Here's a question for you. When did Half-Life 2 come out? If you want to talk about pushing facial animation tech, that would be the game to really push that tech. My god. 2004. There you go. Hi, Fluffy Feels. Most innovative game I've played? Most innovative game I've played most recently. Hey, Legion Reaper. Hope the commissions are going well. I'm trying not to default to Phantom Hourglass, which is a DS game and pretty old at this point. But I think that might actually be my answer. Like it or not, that was a very innovative game. It wasn't a very good game, but it was a very innovative one. Shack near the well.
Morvarg doesn't give up easily.
That's not what I'm trying to... Just let me in. Nope, wrong key. Okay. Well, I sure hope so upon a time. For not, then I'm doing something wrong. There it is. Bob has proven unworthy of his moniker. He paid me not to attack his village and then, pleased at his own cleverness, called off the watch. Never had easier work in my life. We slit the men's throat in their sleep and plowed the women till dawn. Not much loot, but prime entertainment. Well, this guy deserves to die. When we were sailing from Ranaveg, we heard owls hooting, an ill omen, so I ordered us back to the shore. Puke laughed about how I'm supposed to be so brave, yet afraid of the gods. I tossed him overboard with a knife between his ribs, but I could tell I'd lost a bit of respect with the lad's eyes. We'll have to do something to prove I've still got the biggest prick on board, get them from getting any stupid ideas. Our visit to Hindersfall was a success. Priestesses dead, monuments smashed, holy tomes burned, mead barrels drained. We divvied up the silver. I took the votives, Norolf took the basins and spoons, Mons of Guldvar took the candlesticks and jewelry, while Einar, son of Toradar, forfeited his share out of fear of Freya's wrath. Fine, all the more for us. Tomorrow we'll set sail to Spikerog, see what the merchant wenches have brought to the market. Pirates, ladies and gentlemen. Not pirates. Pirates. Pirates are horrible and should die. No ifs, ands, or buts. They should just die. Just gone.
Ah!
Something I've always
Greetings. Praise Freya.
Liar.
What? I swear it on the Great Mother's tits.
Cut the act. Don't buy your piety one bit. You were one of Morvarg's men.
Well, well. Sharp yarn. Didn't see one thing, though. Lads here around me, they're mine. Armed to the teeth to the man. Let me introduce yous.
I mean, okay. What do you think? Should I kill? I'm just gonna kill him.
Can't wait.
You're daft. You're alone. What's your plan, eh?
Let me show you.
So first I'm gonna kill you. Then I'm gonna kill you. Then I'm gonna kill you. Then I'm gonna kill you. And then you're all dead. Funny how that worked out.
You've no respect for our customs. Not ye, nor that witch Yennefer.
Yeah, don't make me kill you too. So now that all the pirates are dead, as they should be. Remember, pirates? They're fine. Pirates... it's just a curse. And he deserved to die anyways, so I mean, I don't particularly feel too bad. Aw. Pirates? I mean... Wait, are those rats made of pie, or pies made of rats? Because that's a pretty big difference. Really? Oh, wow. Still can't go in the front door. Oh, that's true. That could be it, too. Actually, that's an interesting example, Kira. Sorry, you just reminded me of something kind of related. Portal 1 was a very innovative game. Portal 2 was, in my opinion, a better game. Granted, I get some very serious flack for that opinion, but still. So a pirate is Jack Sparrow, just to simplify it as much as I possibly can. Someone who isn't really that horrible of a person. Someone who would probably be best defined as someone who is more freedom-tinted. Someone who is... You know, we shall be free and we shall live our own lives and we'll go a bunch. But they're not actually horrible, despicable, disgusting, you know, I can't think of the Latin phrase. Enemies of mankind. They're just, yar! I'll kill all you, yar! And then they go sailing and occasionally they fight each other. A pirate is scum. Yeah, Edward Kenway. There's a pirate for you, to use an Assassin's Creed example.
Willing to talk now?
Only now can I. Such is the curse. Makes me bite, scratch, mangle, till I drop. you've got time before the blood's gone from me, and I return. Listen, carefully. Undo the curse. Free me. Finally, I will reward you.
So, can we just straight kill him and it sticks? Like, does that get rid of him? I'm actually curious, because I have no interest in uncursing this guy. Like, I'll uncurse him if I can kill him. I suppose that's valid. You're free! Stab. Damn. Oh my god. Comcast has sent me an email, guys. Hang on. This has to be the highest priority in my life right now. Give me a second. Oh my god. There's a new method to get to manage services and change settings and pay bills even faster. That's a direct quote.
So, no joy in being a werewolf?
Nay. It's the worst. Not the garden to which I'm bound, even. But the hunger. Anything I devour returns to ash. Ash I cannot eat. I cannot drink. Yet I bloody live and roam and prowl. The hunger is terrible. Terrible. I bite my own flesh. But the smallest morsel burns my throat. Like boiling tar.
Everlasting hunger. Classic as curses go. Goes to explain why all those corpses went untouched.
Help, or I'll return to shred you, rip you limb from limb.
Nice threat, but sure, whatever.
See what I can do.
See and do, or I shall return. Nothing!
Farewell.
See.
So where do I get some of his own flesh? Oh, right there. Sure. I gotta find him again. Hey, dude. Come back. I got some food for you. Dude. Ah, he's gone. Ah, what a pain. Werewolf dude, hello. Do I just have to wait for him to come back? I don't know how this works. Garden shed. Still don't know where this shed is. See you around, Craven. Have a good one. Can we lift the curse? I mean, I don't even know how to. Left. To the left I shall go. Yeah, sure, Growlus. Cute.
It grew back. It always grows back.
Starting to envy you.
Wish to hear a story?
If I have to, I'm all ears.
Warriors came. They knew they could not kill me. So they laid a trap. Chained me down. Locked me in here. Know what I did? I bit my leg off to free myself. Every bite brought pain, and howling, I vomited blood.
Mm-hmm. Biting off your own limbs hurts. Who would have thunk?
You don't understand. This was more. My mouth burned like swallowing fire. As if all inside me was torn. Felt I would die. But I did it. And then I shredded them, dashed them to bits, made tiny crumbs of those plowing heroes.
Yeah, this is a really horrible curse, and I think you know the answer to that upon a time.
Your story have a point. We're just doing some chest pounding.
The moral is you cannot kill me, cannot stop me. I'll not be bound. Break any fetters. The curse. Free me, or I'll return to get you again.
This is the third time I've killed him now, I believe. Give or take. So we're just gonna look at this really quick. See what I'm missing here. Doo-doo-doo. Apparently, I actually do not have the ability to release him from the curse. All I can do is kill him with his own flesh. And I quote, "If you choose to fight before he tells you how he cursed Morvarg, you won't be able to loot the cursed. You will be able to loot the cursed fang. However, the dialogue option to use it will not appear. So, I have to feed him. That's why I checked that. So, eat up, buddy."
Here we are again.
You can end this. Release me.
Sounds to me like they almost die, Gum Gum.
Have a bite of this. Ought to lift the curse.
Better be true, or I'll rip you, shred you. Ah! What did you do?
That was your own flesh. Far as I know, curse doesn't allow for that.
Or son, You tricked me, deceiver!
Hardly. Wanted me to lift the curse? Well, you're welcome.
What are you talking about, Saffron? It's okay, he's actually gone now, Alex. Ah, for God's sakes. Hate this garden. I mean, I was going to kill him anyways, but that was still a mercy. I would have done the other way if I could have, I just lacked the capacity.
Greetings. What may I help you with this time?
Morvarg, got a few more questions. I'll come for my reward.
But can you be sure that...
Morvarg's gone, for good. Guaranteed, or you'll get your coin back.
I shall hold you to that, Witcher.
Oh, and sorry for killing your garden, I guess. I mean, I can understand, you know, I don't care about the garden personally, but it's important to them, and therefore I can understand it being important. It's a simple equation. I like to think that he has several P.O. boxes at this point. Just all over the place, you know, just in case.
Storm, damn it.
Oh, I never should have helped that damn druid. No, we're gonna do a couple other side quests. Then we're gonna kill some bandits. Then we're gonna cut off for lunch. Then we're gonna do main quest. At some point I'm gonna need to actually cook.
Help us fulfill the oaths we've sworn. Give us...
Who are you? Why are you here?
Could ask you the same. Places like this, usually home to necrophages alone.
They're corpse eaters, aye. And they grow bolder by the day. Crawl out to attack the living.
We'll kill them all. Clear the mine with our swords in our hands. Honor our fathers in doing so.
I'm a witcher. Could go with you and help.
And steal the glory due us? No chance.
Glory won't do much for you if ghouls are gnawing on your bones.
When you think on it, makes sense.
All right. You lead the way then. Hey.
Well, Gum Gum, they're pirates, so they should die. We've actually already covered this.
Hey, where you going?
To hell! They have wonderful lemonade. Alright, guys, get all the glory you can eat. I hate Rot Fiends so much.
Hey, where you going?
Shut up.
Hey, where you going?
Quest failed?
I'll watch you die with pleasure.
Huh. Well, whatever. Bye, guys. No, we'll do that again. We'll do that again. This should be before that. Yes, we have, Upon a Time. The only side quests we haven't done, in all of vanilla, I think, are the ones right here. Yep, here we go. Are the ones right here, the ones we're doing. There's like 3. Or the Gwent tournament. And that's pretty much it. This button. There we go. So, take 2. Less dying. Less dying. Less dying.
Hey, where you going?
Please stop asking me that.
Die with pleasure.
But yes, we did do Tower of Nowheres. I believe that was yesterday.
Last one. Drag the corpses outside. Burn them. Other ghouls don't scorn their cousins' corpses.
Aye. True. It's good you came. Seems Freya watches o'er us to have let you here. We're grateful, and will be for long.
Folk are generous with gratitude. Not so much with coin.
Oh, aye. Sorry. Afterglow of the battle, we're still caught up. Damn, you slice 'em good. Here, for you.
Thanks. Farewell.
You've no respect for our customs. Not ye, nor that witch, Yennefer.
You're still pissed for some reason. Hey, where you going? Jesus. So picky and nosy and just, Alright. I believe we have 2 left now? Yeah, 2. Well, like I said, they employ pirates, so they gotta die, Gum. Sorry. All must die.
Can I have a word?
I serve the goddess and her flock. What can I help you with?
What's with the horseshoes?
Those who wish to race in the hero's pursuits, hang them there.
At a series of races? Can outsiders sign up, or is this a closed event?
Freya sees no insiders, no outsiders. Any man can pay her tribute by risking his life in the pursuits.
Yeah, race quest.
From those on the continent, we are beholden to one rule alone. First across the line wins. Sometimes he's the swiftest, other times it is the one who knocks his opponents off their mounts.
Explains the name. There an entry fee?
Courage. If you do not lack it, hang a horseshoe.
Yeah, no thanks. Peace.
Don't lack courage. Time, though, that's another matter. Still might come back. Take care.
That was amusing. You say that's just one trait, Gum, but that's the only trait I need. It's like finding out that there's a slaver empire. Yeah, it should probably die.
Yeah, you're a watcher. I seeing right.
Hey, it's the butler again.
Got work for me?
If you're willing. Some manner of evil prowls about. Got us scared to venture out of the village.
Any idea what kind of beast this is?
Oh, you hear all sorts of things. The wenches clean the nets, blather about koshches and manticores. But I reckon that's hogwash. We'd seek the counsel of Freya's priestesses, we would. But how can we when we can't get to the shrine?
And nobody's gotten a glimpse of the beast? From a distance, even?
Oh, they have. Right close. Closer than boot and strap. Soon after, their blood spattered the underbrush. Near from the start, no ordinary man could handle the beast. But Sverra insisted. Mustered a crew and... Only 4 came back. The rest massacred east of the village. So, will you help?
I'll tend to the monster.
Not your first, that's clear enough. Not like our lads. Heads full of fire, but not a morsel of thought between them.
The 4 survivors. Where'll I find them?
Aim to talk to Sverra? Maybe 'tain't a bad idea. They're sitting over there by that hut.
So first, upon a time, seriously, if I've only done 80% of the side quests here, I have a seriously flawed guide. Because, holy crap, I should have done all of the side quests, with the exception of the race quest. Which, I mean, screw that. And, that. I've been debating at Hazardous, and I think the quest that stuck out most for me... Well, okay, first I'm going to cheat. I'm going to say the best quests, the ones that really stuck with me most, are the ones about Ciri, and Hralmar. Those were awesome. Well, I have a guide upon a time, and if the guide has failed me, then the guide has failed me, but I've been following it pretty succinctly, and I found quite a few hidden quests. And some quests, which are just an event, which isn't actually a quest at all. So yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I've done everything.
Well, ask this Witcher. He'll tell you monsters don't set traps.
What's the issue?
Ye or anyone ever heard of a beast setting a wagon in the road, then waiting in ambush? They're too plowing dumb for that, damn it.
Dumb or no, they tore a few of our lads to shreds, and we ran like rats. They deserve to be buried.
Really thought you could take on this monster on your own?
We had to try. If we didn't, who would? Think Larvik's some kind of getaway for mutants? Witchers stopping in every week?
Agreed, Kamek.
Willing to talk about it? Tell me what happened?
Ask away.
Remember what the monster looked like?
It were dark. Casper thought he saw something, but...
'Cause I did. It was huge. Its maw all blood-smeared. Bugger gutted Ungi with one claw, near spliced him in two.
Word is, you were ambushed. Tell me where.
Short way from here, along the road to Lofferton. Saw a wagon crosswise the road near the woods.
We barely got to it when something came rushing through the underbrush, and whoosh! Blood spurted in me eyes. I wiped it away, looked, saw Einar lying dead.
Interesting. Thanks.
Huh? For what?
Information, you moron. So, if we are discounting the two siblings quests, which are by and far the best side quests in this island, I would say, I'm very much torn between the Lugo arc and the Leshen quest. Both of those were exceptionally memorable and very well done, I thought. Blue Boy Lugos, his son. First we go, what was it? We dealt with the lighthouse? Basically, we went off and did a quest, which led to the brawl, which led to us being taken in by Lugos, which led to us helping Lugos' son. That's the arc I'm talking about.
Something really did tear him to pieces.
It was a good arc. Hell, it was even good insight into Lugos and into the culture.
Not much left. Beast must have dragged the shredded body to the woods. Looks like blood, but... Red clay. Necker warriors use this clay to mark their position in the pack. Creature leading the Neckers is sentient. Gotta be. Capable of setting primitive traps, at least. Tracks lead into the woods.
Well, near as I can tell, Lugos himself's arc is over. Like, he didn't get... all his sons are dead.
Place for their nest.
And he didn't actually get any... all his sons are dead. He didn't get the kingship. The end, right? Unless there's anything after that, which I'm not aware of. Oh, that's funny, Leander. No, I didn't ask him that, though. You're right. I thought about it.
Finally, the main nest.
Frickin' Neckers. Die. 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 Die.
Guess I got company.
God, I don't even remember that. Upon a Time and Chemic. Necro Warrior, that sounds pretty mean. So, since we're basically done with this, well, no, hang on. I still have to check the notice board. It's the only thing I have left on my list of things to do here. Then we'll see if we can figure out where this Iron Maiden thing is.
So will you help then?
Killed the beast that was troubling you.
Merciful Freya. Horson's finally dead. Now, tell us, was it a tough fight? Got any wounds need dressing?
No, I'll be all right.
Nothing new to the likes of you. Hard work, witcherin'. All right, your reward. This here's for you.
Thanks. So long.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just a Necro Warrior, which is like, okay. Actually, I know for certainty that's not true, Corrales, because I challenged him to Gwent after Ceres became queen. So, if you spot an Nilfgaardian ship on the horizon, return to the village and tell me, do not sail out against them by yourself. What's on the waters around the isles belongs to all, and we will all plunder it together. Request from the druids. When you catch a shark, it is unbecoming to take only the fins and drop the rest into the sea. Such wastefulness is an insult to both gods and nature. The body of every killed creature, whether weasel or whale, was to be used in its entirety to the last bone and tendon. I do not acknowledge the son of my wife, Eldred, has birthed. If you want to take him, come to our house before the next full moon. After that, I'll take him to the mountains and leave him there. What is wrong with you people? This is what I was talking about. Like, about half the Skelligers are like, yeah! Or, hang on. Half the Skelligers are... And then the other half are... And there's like... I guess we'll just have to kill them all. Who will teach my daughter how to use a bow? The girl is already getting decent at a sword and spear fighting, but she'd sooner gouge her eyes out with an arrow than hit the target. So there's the race. And there's the Morvarg contract. So yeah, we're actually done. Except for Iron Maiden. I don't know where Harvican is. There's Harvican. Oh! That's down here. I'm sorry, I actually forgot about this island. We actually still have 2 things to do down here. Including Iron Maiden, which is on my map. Jeez, hang on, let me double check something here. See if there's anything else I missed. No, we did that, we did that, we did those, we did that. We did Tower Out of Nowhere. Yep, nope, I just hadn't looked in the far lower right for a bit. My bad. So let's go ahead and go, looks like just straight east of this. I'll say we did the other quest here. Pretty sure.
Rain Ragnarok itself upon us.
Let me double check. We might not have. But I thought we had, and I'm not seeing them, so yeah, it looks like we did. Okay. So, time to do Iron Maiden. The most amazing quest ever made in the history of ever. Hopefully. I don't think so, Kamek. Damn it, stop bringing up quests I haven't done. I'm just gonna blame Corrales for giving me a terrible guide. This is all your fault, Corrales. There it is.
So, no one else.
This is the 4 races, isn't it?
What do they call you?
Geralt of Rivia.
I'm Jutta Undimmen. No man's been found who could best me in combat.
Sure.
Will you fight me?
I've heard of you. 'Twas you defeated Olaf the Bear, right?
That's me.
If that's so, you'll make a worthy opponent.
Ready when you are.
Then let's start. May Freya choose the victor. Enough! Enough! Oh, gods!
Not surprised you have a hard time finding worthy opponents.
In the end, one came along. Where'd you learn all that?
At Kaer Morhen.
Kaer Morhen? That's terribly far. But you learned a great deal on the road as well, surely. Would you tell me about it?
It'd make for a long story.
All right. We need a quiet spot, some good mead, and... what do you say?
Gladly. See you at the inn?
Too rowdy. Come to my home in Harviken. I'll be waiting after dusk.
See you later then.
And no, we're not sleeping with her. Let's just go ahead and make that very clear. Alright, we're gonna save before we walk in, just in case. I don't even know if it's an option. I've never done this quest. I mean, we just proclaimed our everlasting love to Yennefer. I don't think this is the time for that. Unless you happen to believe in that sort of thing, in which case, no judgment, but I don't think Geralt does, so... So, save. Oh, now you want to give me the quest.
What's the matter?
My betrothed and my brothers, Mikkel and Ulf, sailed to Hindersfjall to fetch Agda. Wedding's in but a few days, but they've yet to return. A storm broke while they were gone. I fear it might have blown them onto the rocks at Faroe. Many have lost their lives there. I'll sail out to find them, I would, but I've got to make sure the wedding's proper prepared. They say it's not fitting for a Skellige to ask for aid, but I've no choice. Will you help me? Will you seek out my kin?
Fine. I'll look around for them.
So this is the quest I was looking for earlier that I just couldn't find.
Can you swing an axe?
And at this point, that should actually be it. Price of Honor and Iron Maiden, other than the 4 races of Heimdall, are the last ones on my map. And 4 races of Heimdall sounds like a race quest, which is I'm not going to do. So unless you guys really want me to do the race quest, that should in fact be it. I'm actually looking over the map just to be sure. Nope, yep, that is actually it. Man, it's a good thing this isn't the books, huh, Gum Gum?
Will you stay long?
Greetings.
I started to think you'd changed your mind.
I'd never miss a chance to spend a pleasant evening with you.
I don't know that I'll make for engaging company. In truth, I rarely talk to men.
Rarely? Why?
Well, I don't like to waste time chatting before fights. And after them, I've none left to talk to. And now that I've finally met someone stronger, seems Freya's played a cruel trick on me.
What's Freya got to do with it?
I swore to the goddess that only he who bested me in battle would lie with me, take me as his wife, and give me children.
Yeah.
Wrong guy beat you, unfortunately.
Yes, I know, witchers aren't husband material, nor can they sire children. But it was you who bested me.
And I'm sure many warriors in Skellige are worthier of your attention than I am.
One would be enough.
Never thought of searching the other isles?
could be right. I believe it may be time to leave Pharaoh.
Well, good luck, Utah Dimon.
See?
So what is she to you? The sorceress, Yennefer, right?
That's a weird thing to say, but whatever. I suppose that could technically be a bias, in the same sense that I'm biased against people eating babies, for example. Like, I don't know if that really qualifies as a bias at that point. Okay, so this should, no really, be the last quest in Skellige.
What did I think of next?
Other than the race quests, which we're not doing. Why would we even bother? What's the point? I only did the brawling quests specifically to lead into the Olaf thing. I haven't decided yet, Sonashi. I guess we're kind of done with Gwent quests at the moment, though. So I suppose basically now. Let's see. And by now, I mean not right now. So I'll let you guys decide. Would you like me to do the tournament quest when we come back from break? Or main quests when we come back from break?
What now, you piece of filth?
Blue and bloated. Didn't seem to bother the sirens, though. Must have nabbed her body soon after she drowned. Kira's lamp ought to prove really handy here.
Well, if I have to. Oh! Thank you, Tazara. Thank you very much as always, sir. Well, I mean, I haven't heard much about them, Gum Gum, so I can't judge that. I'm incapable. Do we even have a release date for Psychonauts? I'm just curious. What am I doing? I am doing this. For God's sakes. Where's that stupid lamp? Is that it? That's it.
Merciful Freya, forgive your sons. Meant to escort our brother's betrothed to her wedding, a storm beset us and bested us. All is lost. Agdali's dead, her dowry drowned. 'Tis a taint on the clan's honor. Forgive us, O Freya most noble.
Stop, Mikael. Freyr can't wash our shame away. Only blood can. Let's do it as it must be done. There, neath the tree. We'll pray, and then end it.
Aye, you're right. Be better that way.
So...
Wonder where they lead.
Well, no, Gum Gum. I'm just saying that I would know more about them if I knew more about them. That's a pretty linear statement. So... Words. I was going to say something about Psychonauts, and next year, and then Skellige's dumb. Crap, I don't remember what I was going to say now. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So these people died for basically no reason. That's always nice.
Skellige in honor. Chose to die instead of living with the knowledge they'd let down their brother.
Yeah. That is very Skelligan. Hey, your betrothed and your brothers are dead. So, about my pay.
Got some bad news. Sadly, Agda's dead. So are your brothers.
What? How? What do you saying?
A storm destroyed their boat. Agda was killed. Your brothers felt they'd let you down, couldn't live with the shame. They chose death. Found this letter. Might help you come to terms.
A letter? That's all that's left of them.
Sorry, didn't find anything else.
I mean, there was the dowry that sank, but I mean, screw that, am I right? Well, on that cheerful note, now we are, for real, done with side quests here. I should have looked before I said that, but I'm pretty sure I am right. Yep, we're good. What's interesting is I feel that, once again, that's ignorance. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, sure, they were obviously very beat up about the fact that they let her die. I mean, I don't really blame them on that one. But I feel like they would have been more willing to continue living if they didn't literally, in a very factual, literal way, think that their deaths would wipe away the shame of things. Yes, that's the board that has the quest for the race, Kralis. That's what that is. I actually already read it earlier, if you were paying attention. So. Yeah, no. Once again, we see that ignorance and knowledge theme continuing to be prevalent. There's the Toussaint quest. This is a decent enough pause point, because the main quest, well, let's put it as bluntly as we can, the main quest is about to start. Like, up until this point, the main quest arcs have been good, but ultimately the main plot still hasn't actually started. The main quests have been mostly stories about the regions we've been going through. The Baron, and the crones, and the nature of what's going on with the war. The problems of the crime lords and their interdynamics and personal and political shufflings, what's going on with Triss and what's going on with Radovid. And then Skellige has been mostly focused on the nature of how they're dealing with, you know, the needing of a new king and all that stuff. Basically, the main plot hasn't started yet. We still don't actually know the specifics of the Wild Hunt's plan. They've barely made any actual presentation, and we're still just looking for Ciri. Now, I actually agree with Sonashi. After this point, you'd think that, oh my god, there's so much game left. There actually isn't. We're probably going to finish Vanilla Witcher 3 tomorrow. We might even finish it today, depending on our pace. And that's fine, but it goes to that whole deleted content thing. I've actually read several interviews that indicate that what they actually wanted to happen is that Kaer Morhen, which is going to happen soon-ish, was supposed to be the halfway point of the game, where in reality it's more like the 3/4 point in the game. And then we have what is functionally the final act after that. Shrug. It's the nature of game development. I just wish that after the smash-bang success that Witcher 3 was, it would have been nice if they had gone back and basically kept adding in the stuff that they had pulled out. Even if it was, you know, in the form of DLCs or whatever. That would be nice, right? We'll see. We'll see. Either way, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and chop off here for right now.